Let me get things situated here. Things are going pretty good right now. Set up with here. And also get this up. Connect. Alright. And grab the link. Alright. So I got the link. Let's give you guys the question of the day to hopefully be notified. So that you guys have something to do, I mean. My name? I don't know. But it is a kind of interesting question about superhero name there. If I were a villain, though, I'd probably just name myself your worst nightmare. Hey, that could work. As a hero name, so what else could go on here? But let me deal with that over here. But yeah, just imagine it. A superhero called Your Worst Nightmare. But I am glad that I'm getting some new stuff out here. Go over here just to make sure. Yep. Okay. Alright, so now just do this here. Copy. Alright, so now this portion should go over pretty quickly. There. 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 But yeah, I'm not too talkative today. There's just not too much to talk about. Alright. But I got everything situated there. Don't go dark, people. Alright. Now then, I am going to take this chance to get a drink, and then I will get the game up and switch things over. If you guys haven't had the chance to answer today's question of the day, feel free to do so, and if you don't see it, the command in the title of the stream while I'm live should bring it up. With that, I will be right back. Alright, I'm back and it looks like I didn't miss anything, so let me get the inputs switched over and start up the game, and then you guys will be able to join in and get this started. Luckily this time I'm not gonna rely on autosave. What's a daisy? Alright. Now here we are. Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? Let's go in here. It's still a bit weird to me how this goes on. But here we are. This one's the one that we're on. Load. Okay, so here we are. What were my options here? Alright. None of them are locked, but I'm kind of interested in seeing what is going to go on here, so let's say stay. Being left out of the feast hardly guaranteed my safety. Obviously, escape was the ideal choice, but at this point, I didn't see anyone guiding me out. All I I had to look forward to was either dropping dead somewhere in the mountains or becoming a snack in this village. The first seemed way more attractive, but unfortunately I'd gotten attached to the people here. Abandoning them would at least make it hard for me to sleep at night. Abandoning them, I'm just more interested in finding out what's going on. That's why running away wasn't an option for me.
休みずのご飯食べさせてくれないのは何の伏線なの?
I'll go ahead and ask, why aren't you letting me eat Yasumizu stuff? What is this foreshadowing?
気づいた?
You noticed?
もう怪しい伏線はとっとと潰しておこうと思って怖いから
Yeah, and I figured I should clear up anything shady before it comes back to bite me. It's scary.
参ったなもうまあこれはただの保険というか心の薬というか
You got me, but really this is just some insurance. A little medicine for the mind.
少し詳しく
Oh, tell me more.
なんかあるじゃんそこのご飯を食べちゃったから豚にされて逃げられないみたいなさ
You know how it can be, right? You eat something from a strange place, and next thing you know, you're turned into a pig and can't run away.
ここは地獄か何か?
What is this, hell or something? I'd seen that anime on DVD. By the way, which way to the bathhouse? Wait, what? I wonder if he's referring to Hell Girl here. Because that's the only thing that comes to my mind right now.
地獄でないとは断言できないかな
I can't say it isn't. It seemed like some serious overthinking to me, if not just serious superstition.
ちなみにその体勢はまだ続くの?
How long will this last?
一応食料はそれなりに持ち込んであるからまだ大丈夫
I brought a ton of food from the outside, so you should be fine for a while. Cup ramen, huh? I did appreciate it, but I had mixed feelings on living like it was the apocalypse over a local superstition. Anyway, we went to Chamie's room, and she gave me some cup ramen. We agreed I'd pay for it after all this was over. I actually skipped 2 meals, so I was still hungry, but I was used to skipping meals to cut costs, so that wasn't a problem. I wanted to relax and think things over, but Chamie was curious about the others and I ended up tagging along. It was probably because I wasn't in a position to be by myself.
あらいらっしゃいお昼
Oh, welcome. Are you here for lunch?
いいえ時間を持て余してしまって座ってていいです
Nope, we're just here to kill time. Can we sit?
もちろんお茶をお出しするわ
Of course, I'll bring you some
す
tea.
みません僕はお湯いただけますか?
Can I have just some warm water instead?
あらお茶は体にいいのに
Oh, but tea is good for you.
お茶を飲むと眠れなくなる体質なんですよね
I'm the type who can't sleep if I drink tea.
あらそれは仕方ないわね
Oh, I
で
see.
もおさゆで
Oh, I see. Warm water it is
お
then.
さゆも断ってほしかったな
I'd have liked it if you refused that too.
そうは言うけどもカップ麺作るときにここの水は使ってるわけじゃん
But you use water from here whenever you make cup ramen, right?
気づいてなかったのか
You didn't realize that?
私だからセーフかな
Maybe it's safe when you boil it. She talking about when you purify it? Because boiling it would purify it. Could hell's water really be purified by boiling?
はい、どうぞ。でも本当に災難だったわね。バイクもあんなに壊されて、しかもこんな。
Here you go. I must say you're quite unfortunate. Your bike was broken, and now you're, you know. Oh.
いえ、
yeah, you
これは
know.
そんな。ちなみにこんなこと毎年のようにあるんですか？
Oh, it's nothing compared to everyone else here. If I may ask, does this kind of thing happen often? Is it annual or something? I asked something important, like it was no big
そ
deal.
んなにはなかったはずよ。私は少なくとも宴が今回が初めて。
No, it certainly isn't that common. Personally, this is my first feast.
昔霧が出た時に亡くなった人がいるっていうのは聞いてるけど、多くの人が休みずにいなかったから。
I did hear that people died when the mists appeared before, but that was before most of us were here. As in, they hadn't been ostracized back then. I could ask that, but I probably couldn't dig too
じ
deep.
ゃあ多くの人にとってこれが初めてのことってわけですか？
So this is a first for many people here, right?
ええ、そうだと思うわ。
Yes, I think so.
そうか。それにしては随分とやり方が正確に伝わってるんですね。
I see. If that's the case, knowledge of the rules seems strangely well kept.
ここはこんなところでしょ。娯楽も何もないから、小さい子たちはお年寄りのお話を聞いて育つの。
You see what kind of place this is, don't you? There's not much in the way of entertainment here, so the little ones grow up listening to the tales of their elders.
古いお話や古い歌はずっと伝わって残ってるみたいよ。
Old tales and songs are always passed down and survive for a long time. So they're kind of spreading their history through the old ways, through tales and songs. That's kind of interesting. But I'm not surprised.
歌？
Songs.
歌
Song. Whoa. Mysterious Mako-chan popped out of nowhere.
歌覚えた
I learned the song.
あらすごい。歌って歌って。
Oh my, you did? Could you sing it for us?
新内さんのお守りは
Shinai-san's guardians are...
赤だし増やして手がらしとくよ
One cake, two funky, three blow, four rider. Cake, funky, blow, and rider. I think that she meant snake, monkey, wolf, and others there. Like badger, maybe? I don't know. But then again, that one hasn't been mentioned. So was it about a guy who had a funky birthday party with cake and ended the night on a happy note? The melody seemed familiar, though.
ちょっと難しかったかな
I guess it was too difficult for her.
ねえここにいたの？
Mako, so this is where you were, Her guardian came soon after.
あら、まあ、すみません。お昼の後でいろいろ見苦しいところを。
Oh my, I'm sorry, we just had lunch, so this place is a bit of a mess. Kaori Oribe saw and humbled herself.
こちらこそ。 メイコがお邪魔をしまして。
Oh no. I'm the one who should apologize. I let Mako wander off here.
いえいえ。こんな時ですから、少しでも気が楽になるように、好きなようにくつろいでください。
No need for that. It's a difficult time for us all. You are free to come here and relax whenever you like.
では。
Very well. Silent thud. And a loud one. The woman just collapsed.
大丈夫リカ子さん。
Are you okay?
あらまあ、怪我はない？
Oh dear, are you hurt? Apparently she wasn't trying some unique form of relaxation. She just tripped on the rail for the door. Oh, it hurts. She put her hands on her throbbed nose and became teary-eyed. The lady's mysterious vibe crumbled in an instant. The woman noticed my surprise and pouted. She might have been more expressive than I'd realized.
あまり見ないでください。
Please don't look at me like that.
すみません。考えてみたら、ちゃんとお話しするの初めてですよね。
I'm sorry. Now I think about it, this is the first time we've talked.
そうかもしれません。
You
申し
might,
訳ありません。
you might be right. My apologies.
どうして謝りますか？
For
巻
what?
き込んでしまって。
I got you involved in this. Were you the one that had our glowing eyes? Because you sure look like that woman.
逃げて。
Run.
そういえば、逃げろって言ってくれましたね。
Oh yeah, you told me to run away.
夕霧が上がってくるのが見えていたから。
I saw the evening mists. I saw the
見えてい
evening.
ればよかった。
I saw the evening. Saw the evening mists come, but I hoped you could escape.
そういうことだったんですか。僕はてっきり予言でもされたのかと。
Oh, so that's how it was. A part of me thought you foretold the future or
上
something.
松は見張りの家ではありませんから。
Uematsu isn't the lookout family. Now that sounded
見張り
significant.
の家とは？
What does that mean?
あまり外の方には。
This isn't something we can share with outsiders. Crap, Jamie's lack of reserve made me forget my boundaries here.
すみません。変わった服を着てらしたので、何か神職の方なのかなと。
I'm sorry, you're wearing some strange clothes, so I thought you were a Shinto priestess or something.
それは、まあ、そんなに偉いものではありませんが。
Oh, I'm not that
ルア
important.
キさん、リカ子さんあんまり困らせちゃダメだよ。
Araki-san, don't bother Rikako-san too much.
そのつもりはなかったんだ。申し訳ないです、リカ子さん。
Oh, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry, Rikako-san.
いきなり、下の名前で。
You just called me by my first name. Kind of funny here that she reacts like that. Over here, it's no big deal to call each other by our first names, but I've heard over in Japan it can be quite significant, so I'm not too surprised about the way she's acting.
すみません。
Sorry. Jamie called her that way, so I thought it was okay. Man, this was confusing.
別に、いいですけど。
I'm not that bothered.
すみません。
Oh, sorry about that. Ha 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 ha.
何なんかいい雰囲気
You two are getting along. I'd have appreciated it if she didn't put me in a weird situation.
帰ります。メイコは
I'm going back. What about you, Mako?
もうちょっといる。
I'll stay a bit longer.
そう。夕方前には戻ってね。
I see. Come back before evening. And so she
ちょっ
left.
ぴり不思議ちゃん入ってるけど、可愛い人だよね。
She's a bit weird, but still cute, right? She
可愛い
is.
人だよね。
She's cute, right?
そうかな。
Is she?
どっち
Which one is
こ
it?
っちのセリフですが。
That's my question.
美人はいいな。いくつになっても年齢不詳の美人のまま。
Sigh. Natural beauties sure have it. Ain't good. They look young and pretty no matter how old they get. Well, that was some bait.
あえて食いつくけど、彼女っていくつなの？
I'll bite. How old is she?
よくわかんない。まあ30過ぎってことはないと思うけど、間違いなく私よりはお姉さんだよ。
I don't know. I'm pretty sure she's younger than 30, but she's definitely older than me.
十分意外なんだけど。
That's older than expected.
ね、ちっちゃいし童顔だし。
I know, right? He's so little, and did you see that baby
ち
face?
なみに彼女って、
By the way, is she?
こんにちは。
Hello? Hello. We were now joined by the students.
今いい？
Mom, can we come in now?
あら、安永。はるちゃんもいらっしゃい。
Oh, Yasunaga, Haru-chan, welcome.
ちょっと、あなた。
Hey, you.
はい、あなたのあなたです。
Yep, I'm you at your service.
ふざけてるの
Are you messing with me? I was
なんだ
actually.
ろう、牧島さん。
What is it, Maki Shimachi-san?
今、はるちゃんって呼びそうになったでしょ。ほとんど初対面なのに、非常識じゃない
You almost called me Haru-chan, didn't you? We've only just met. You don't do that. It's unreasonable.
落ち着くんだ。ヒステリー系ヒロインは人気が出ないぞ。
Calm down. Hysteric heroines aren't popular.
つくづくふざけてる。あなたにね、言いたいことがあってきたの。
You're still messing around. I came here to say something to you. Her behavior was pretty unreasonable too, to be honest. But instead of pointing it out, I just corrected my posture and waited to hear what she had to say.
あなたね、知恵姉にくっつきすぎ。知恵姉だって忙しいんだから、あなたはあなたで何かしたらどうなの
You're getting too close to Chie. Hey, she's pretty busy, so you should leave her alone and do your own thing.
そうだったのか。
You were busy?
いや別にそうでも。
I wouldn't say so.
新罰知恵姉が暇だったとしても、女性にはいろいろあるんだから、遠慮して適度に距離を取るのが大人でしょ
Even if she has some free time, she's a lady, so you need to be considerate and keep your distance. It's the mature thing to do. Sure it is, Haru. I just want to punch you in the face right now. Sure, he's hanging around her a lot, but he's still trying to figure things out.
それは確かにそうかもしんない。
Well, that's true.
止めるんだったら、とっととどっか行きなさいよ。これだから大人って、ずるくて汚くて鬱陶しいんだ。
If you agree, then just go away somewhere. This is why adults are so unfair, filthy, and annoying.
そうです。私が汚いおじさんです。
Yes, I am a filthy old man. Gee.
はるちゃん、そんなこと言うためについてきたの？あ、母さん、匠兄から伝言で。
Haru-chan, did you really come with me just to say that? Oh, Mom, I have a message from Takumi-ni.
何かしら。
What is it?
しばらくは夜早いだろうから、お弁当にした方がいいんじゃないかって。
We'll be going to sleep early for a while, so maybe we should have packed lunches.
それはそうだわ。急いでお米炊かなきゃ。
Oh, that's true. I should hurry and start making the rice.
房石さん、あなたにこれを。
Also, Fusaishi-san, take this.
ぼんよよよよ。え、僕？
Boom, boom, huh? Me? I was busy deflecting Haru-chan's attacks with my stupidity barrier, so being dragged into the conversation surprised me a bit. He gave me a rather dirty, rusty, cheap-looking cylindrical key. It wasn't even attached to a keychain.
学生寮の鍵です。匠兄がタイバーに行って出してもらったんだって。
It's the key to the dorm. Takamini said he got it from Taiba.
どうしてそんな？
Oh, why did he do
今朝
that?
は外に寝させて悪かったって伝えてほしいそうです。
He said he felt pretty bad about making you sleep outside last night.
律儀でよく気がつく人だな。
What a sincere and considerate person.
あの人がいるから、こんなところでも何とかしていけるわ。
He really is. People like him make living in a place like this far easier.
やっぱり。
Mom, you really...
あ、お米。
Oh, the rice. With an awkward smile on her face, Kaori-san went back to the
すみ
kitchen.
ません。お恥ずかしいところを。
I'm sorry you had to see that.
まあ、よそ者には何が何だかわからないので問題ないよ。
Don't worry, I'm just a clueless outsider. I made a blatant lie. Everyone could tell that Kaori-san and Takumi-san would make a nice
い
couple.
え、はるちゃんもです。はるちゃん、よその人には絡んじゃダメだよ。
Oh, I'm talking about Haru-chan too. Hey, stop picking a fight with the outsider.
何よ。兄ちゃんだって迷惑でしょ。
Hey, he's bothering you too, isn't
別
he?
に。
Not really.
とにかくあなた、宴が関係ないなら早く出ていけば。
Anyway, if you don't have anything to do with the feast, then just get out.
はるちゃんやめろって。
Stop it already.
なんでよ。
Why?
房石さんは被害者なんだ。そんな薄情なことを言うもんじゃない。
Usaishi-san is a victim. Don't be so
何
heartless.
よ。兄ちゃんのバカ。
What the hell? You're such a dummy.
ああ、もう何が何だか。
Ugh, this is such a mess. They had to stop fighting about me. We had an innocent little girl here. Was it had or have? Yep. Also, Jamie's info was confirmed to be true. Trying to escape seemed dangerous and recommending it was heartless. Wait, how do we know that? Because we didn't try it. Basically, getting out of here was difficult. That made me all the more grateful for the room. I'd been so busy trying to understand what was going on in this place that I didn't even consider how to deal with myself. I'd have to thank
ま
Takumi-san.
あまあ二人とも落ち着いて。はるちゃん、ちえねえと遊ぼうのコーナー。
Calm down, you two. Haru-chan, wanna play with Chene?
遊ぶって何を。
Play what?
信頼モーデ。
Prayer to Shinai.
今なんでまた。
No,
猫
seriously?
ちゃんに正しいやつを見せようかなって。
I want to show Mako-chan how it's supposed to be done.
いい
What?
けど。知恵ねってそういうの結構こだわるよね。
That's fine, but wow, you really care about stuff like this, huh?
まあね。
Yeah, kinda. Something was about to begin. No longer the center of attention, I began drinking the hot water Kaori-san placed before me. The teacup had a strange symbol enameled at the bottom. It looked like a family
安
crest.
永君この文様って何かな？
Yasunaga-kun, what's this mean?
上藤吉の長者の家紋ですよ。そんな食器捨ててし
Oh,
まう。
that's one of the Kami Fujiyoshi head family crests. She should just throw it away. His harsh tone made it pretty likely that it was the crest of the Higuchi family, the ones who banished them here. Haru-chan moved a chair and sat down in front of Chamie.
私が男役でいい？
Can I play the man's role?
いいよ。
Sure.
じゃあ行くよ。1、2、せーの。
Let's go. 1, 2. So we're gonna finally find out what the real song is, huh? So let's see if my guess is right. Shinai-san's guardians are...
いかがちふましらみがらすよぐも
1 snake, 2 monkey, 3 crow, 4 spider. Wait. 4 spider? Or is that just a number thing? Because we knew there were 2 monkeys in the setup of this. So... well, there's 1 snake, 2 monkeys, and so I was assuming that there were gonna be 3, and looks like Ryder was Spider. They started playing an action rhyme, much like Ring Around the Rosie or London Bridge is Falling Down. Fully in sync, they clapped, slapped their knees, clapped again, joined hands, etc., all according to the rhythm. I'm mentioning London Bridge here, even though it's like one of the things that we recognize here. It kind of reminded me of Black Butler, because in one of the arcs of Black Butler, you hear the rhythm of London Bridge is Falling Down, but it covered other verses. It had different verses that like had the same rhythm, like Silver and Gold and that. And I was wondering, hey, is this about the history of the London Bridge? I didn't look too deeply into it though, but it was like, that's new. I didn't encounter that before. So, let's see what's going on around here. And there was no mistaking it. This is actually the song I'd heard yesterday morning.
夕霧立てば宴の支度
5. Prepare for the feast when the evening mists arrive. Okay, so it's more like steps or something. 6. The badger runs along the late with Nair as a fix. Okay, so this is our first mention of the badger. Not too sure what the badger's equivalent would be in a typical mafia or werewolf game, though. Or if it's just a unique addition to this, like the other things. They were doing it pretty quickly, so I couldn't see everything. but it was definitely complex. They even raised fingers and made fist bumps. Also, I was pretty sure I'd heard that part somewhere. Well, the little girl was singing it.
夕霧立てば宴の支度
Prepare for the feast when the evening mists arrive. So she said back then, huh? Oh.
怪しよみとけがらえり
7. The corrupt Yomabito rise to oppose the The corrupt Yomabito rise to oppose the mountain. Suddenly, the song changed in tone. The movement switched up too. Haru-chan hit her face while Chamie stood up a bit and grabbed her by the shoulders.
怪しよみ人なきにせん
8. The death of the damned Yomabito is the mandate. 8. Similar line, but the roles switched.
くれやひとりにひとり
9. One soul per day now to bind.
入りたった
10. The mists rise away again. They return to the same tone and movements as before. But then, at a slightly awkward point, the song suddenly ended. Then they quickly stood up and... Yay!
久しぶりすぎて焦った
It's been so long since I did this that I kind of panicked. Apparently they were
さみ
done.
こちゃんもともとはこういう遊びなんだよ
See that, Mako-chan? This is how it's done.
すごい早くてよくわかんなかった
Wow, you were so fast I couldn't see it all.
よしはるちゃんめいこちゃんに教えてあげるんだ
Alright, Haru-chan, teach it to Mako-chan.
私が
What? Me?
教えて
Teach me!
まあいいけど
Well,
やす
alright.
くんちょっと話したいことある
Yasu-kun, there's something I want to talk to you about. Jamie's tone was serious.
何かな
What is it? Yasunaga-kun instantly understood that it was important, but he seemed to be mindful of
も
me.
し宴のことだったら僕がいない方がいいかな
If it's about the feast, I shouldn't be here, right?
すみません
Sorry. Chimi gave me a meaningful look as I left. She'd probably tell me something the next time we
ちょっ
met.
と出てきますね
I'm heading out then.
はーい。お構いできずに、ごめんなさい。
Very well, you take care now. Kaori's son stuck her head out and said goodbye to me as I left the dining hall. I put together what I'd learned, the settlement's beliefs, circumstances, and the inhabitants' stances. However, Jamie was really the only one I could directly get info from. I couldn't account for any biases she might have had. The other inhabitants, albeit to varying degrees, didn't trust me. I could probably have decent talks with Yasunaga-kun, but his situation seemed to be similar to Jamie's. I'd have liked to get info from the elders. Maybe my best option was to somehow join the feast myself. From what Jamie had told me, the feast was a really vile and dangerous tradition. And that didn't change even when you considered the tales, and that there had already been lynchings because of this. Normally, something so brutal would have changed and become some harmless festival by now. How did such a tradition survive in the modern day despite murder and lynchings being completely illegal? Was this place simply beyond the reach of the law or something? Or...
神様を見たことがあるか？
It's cause I saw God. Or because you'd actually get cursed if you didn't do what the tales told you to. How stupid. Then again, I couldn't really write it off. My stance on gods and monsters was basically that as long as they could be seen, I was willing to accept their existence. The belief that nothing was beyond comprehension of modern science was narrow-minded at best. New technologies and methods could easily reveal things that were previously undetectable. This had happened many times throughout human history. The idea that there were strange animals, ghosts, or aliens that were simply beyond our current ability to perceive was entirely plausible. However, there were disappointing realities too. For example, the original story about something mysterious could have easily been a lie, trick, misunderstanding, or misinformation. Generally speaking, the mysteries of the world all turned out to be one of those. Science disproved things far more often than it confirmed them, which was pretty damn boring. Surely even Houdini, famous for exposing mediums and other frauds, wanted to believe in psychic phenomena. He'd searched the world in the hopes of meeting a real medium, but each he had found proved to be fake in the end. Well, considering I'd actually seen something that shouldn't have existed, you could say that I was in a way a more exciting situation than him. Though my life was in danger, so I couldn't waste time trying to speculate what that thing was. Back to the matter at hand. For now, the most important thing was understanding and surviving the feast. To pull that off, I needed more info. I still hadn't heard how today's talk had ended. Based on the mood of the place, no one seemed to have died, at least.
死んだよ。
They died? Shocked, I turned around. Who was this? It was a girl I'd never seen before. You have seen them.
死んだよ。死んだ。死んだとも。
They died. Yes, they did. They all died.
と君も死ぬ。富士吉村にようこそ。気の毒なお兄さん。
You will die too, Shirley. Welcome to Fujiyoshi, you poor old man. You poor man. The girl turned and ran, her skirt swaying behind her.
モッチー。
Hold up, Mochi.
なぜわかったうんこマン。
Whoa, how did you know, Poop Man? Because you dressed this way before. And he remembers everything.
誰がうんこマンだ。いや、確かに見た目は結構びっくりしたが、喋り方と声はもうちょっと工夫した方がいいな。
Who are you calling Poop Man? And well, your clothes surprised me, sure. But you should work on your acting skills.
いや、別に変装のつもりじゃないし。
Hey, this ain't a costume or anything.
え、普段着だとでも？
You're just saying you wear that normally?
おう。僕は超貧乏だからずっと学生服を着てたらタイバーが文句タラタラ言ってきてね。
Yep, I'm super poor, so the school uniform was the only thing I could wear, but Taiba never stopped complaining about
だ
that.
からはるちゃんにお下がりをもらったのさ。可愛かろう。
That's why I borrowed Haru-chan's old clothes. They're cute, aren't they? Kinda weird. A bit.
まあ、確かに可愛いが、一応性別は男なんだよね、君は。
Well, they are, but you're a guy, right? If I didn't know already, I'd have assumed he was a girl.
ちゃんとついているぞ。ツレションの時に確認すればいい。
Yep, I have one. You can check when we're pissing together. Oh my gosh. Why would you say that? Besides, we don't really need to say that since the neck alone can reveal your gender. I didn't want to see it at all.
自分の性別に違和感があったりするの？
Are you uncomfortable with your gender or
なん
something?
だそれ。僕は男だ。
What? No, I'm a guy.
なんでそんなことを？
Then why?
別に、なんで、なんてない。僕はそういうやつだからだ。
There's no reason. This is just the way I am.
そういう。
The way you are.
異教の振る舞いというやつ。頭がおかしいので、普通の人とはうまくやっていけないのだ。
I'm an eccentric. There's something wrong with my head, so it's hard for me to get along with normal
でも、
people.
好きなようにやらないのはそれはそれできっついから、多少は変にするわけだ。
But I also can't just do whatever I please, so I ended up being a bit weird.
つまり自然体というわけ？
So this is simply your nature?
寒くなければ、すっぱだかでも悪くないな。
Yeah, speaking of nature, if it wasn't cold, I wouldn't mind going around naked. So basically, this was a guy with a unique sense of, well, everything. Unless he found something that really clicked, he'd have a hard time living anywhere, even in the city.
そりゃ苦労もあったろうね。
You have my sympathies.
休みずはだいたい住みやすいぜ。うんこマンも住むといい。
Hey, Yasumizu's actually pretty easy to live in. You should move here, poop man. As if he wants to move
なんで
there.
そんな話になるかな？
What does that have to do with
お前
anything?
は住みにくかろう？
Living in the city is hard, ain't
い
it?
や、断然便利だしな。
Nope, it's way more convenient than
そ
here.
うか。てっきり嫌なことがあって飛び出してきたのかと思った。
Really? I thought you escaped because something bad happened. I think he said something bad happened relationship-wise, not living-wise, but yes, city life is a bit easier than anything. About the most advantageous thing about being in a rural area is you can just grow your own food and such, and that would be the most convenient thing that you could do. But not everyone can do that for various reasons.
まあ、それは否定しないけどさ。
Well, I can't deny
うん
that.
こマンも頭おかしい人でしょ？
You're a weirdo too,
と
right?
全力で否定するけど。
That one I can deny.
おかしいな。同類だと思ったのに。
Wait, really? I thought we were birds of a feather. Way to jump to conclusions, Mochi.
ねえ、じっちゃん。
Right, old man? Whoa, there was a weird old guy in the
僕は
bushes.
うんこマンが変態だと思う。
I think Poop Man's a real weirdo.
だよね、うんこマンは。
I know, right? That's what Poop Man is. Poop Man.
お願いだから、その故障を広めないでくれ。久石でも春秋でも何でもいいから。
Please don't spread that name. I don't give a damn if you use Visaishi or Haruki. Haruaki. Yep. Just stop calling me that. Asan? Ah, son. Did I look like a Middle Easterner? I was mildly bothered by the accentuation, too, but he was probably avoiding using nicknames that were similar to Haruchi man's name.
まあ、いいか、それで。
Well, whatever, that
うんこ
works.
マンはハッサンになった。
Poop Man became Hassan. I was never a poop man to begin with.
おじいさんとは親しいの？
You're close to the old man?
頭おかしい友達だ。
We're fellow crazies. Well, the old man seemed to be enjoying
ハッ
it.
サンも仲間になろう。霧が晴れたら、上富士吉に鶏盗みに行こう。
Come join us, Hassan. When the mist's clear, we can go steal chickens from Kami Fujiyoshi. Why steal them? You can just get the eggs from them legitimately through fair trade or whatever process that they decide to go through in deciding to kill chickens like they do cows and horses.
そんなカッパ的な。
Why would I do something like that? What are you Kappas? Well, why did he, well, no, hell, why did he like me that much? Well, that might have been a good thing. He seemed to be a bit more unique than the other two
ちな
students.
みに今日はなんで他の高校生たちと一緒じゃないの？
By the way, why aren't you with the other students today?
だって、はるちゃん怒ってたし、楽しくないことになりそうな気配が全開だったもん。
Well, Haru-chan was angry, so I felt it wasn't gonna be fun with
彼女
her.
は何を怒ってたの？
Why was she angry?
はるちゃんはさ、やっすんのことが好きだからさ。
Haru-chan likes Yasun. Oh?
ちえねえが帰ってきて、やっすんが嬉しそうなのが気に入らないのだよ。
So she doesn't like that Yasun seems happy about Shieni, hey, coming back.
そしたらなぜ僕が怒られる？
I see, so why was she mad at me?
やっすんがちえねえのこと好きなのを、はるちゃんは一応応援しちゃってるし。
Haru-chan actually wants Yasun and Shieni to get together. Well, I'm sure I didn't expect to hear something like
恋
that.
してる相手の恋を手助けしてしまってるってことか。
So she's helping the target of her unrequited love get his sweetheart?
そうそう。だからハッサンがちえねえと突如ベタベタしだしたんで、わけわかんなくなってんだよ。
Yep, that's why you barging in and getting along with Chainei messed things up for her. So basically, I accidentally entered a love
ちなみ
triangle.
にちえみちゃんはそういうの気づいてるのかな？
Does Jamie-chan know any of
そりゃ
this?
そうじゃない？でも相手にしてないし、脈はないね。
Pretty sure she does. She doesn't do anything about it. He has a snowball's chance in hell. Man, this kid was
というわ
harsh.
けで、よかったな。ちえねえはハッサンのものだ。
So yeah, good on ya, Hassan. Chainei is yours. Is she now?
っていうか、君はそれでいいのかい？
And wait, are you okay with this?
なんで聞くかな。
Why are you asking?
短期間の観察ではあるけど、君は奔放なくせに、はるちゃんに対してはどこか海外しい感じがして。
Well, I haven't been here for long, but from what I've seen, you're wild with most people, but kind of gallant around Haru-chan.
まあ、多分そんなんじゃないな。幼馴染として危なっかしいから心配してるだけさ。
Well, you're probably right. She's a childhood friend and a bit of an airhead, so I do worry about her, that's
意
all.
外だな、モッチー。そういうやつをからかいまくるキャラかと思った。
That's unexpected. You seemed like the type to mess with such
ハッサン
people.
だったら死ぬほどおちょくるけど、
I'd mess around with you to the very
や
end.
っすんには借りがいっぱいあるし、はるちゃんはかわいそうな子だからな。
I owe a lot to Yasun, and Haru-chan is an unfortunate girl.
なんか、いっぺんにいろいろ聞くのもあれだし、
それはいずれ別の時に聞かせてくれ。
You know what? Asking too much at once isn't good, so we'll have you tell me tell me more some other time.
すでに喋りすぎた。何の魔術だ？発散目。
I already said too much, Hassan. What kind of magic did you use on me? He was the one who'd gone blabbing on his
とこ
own.
ろで、さっき死んだって言ってたけど、誰か死んだの？いや、記者さんは亡くなったけど。
By the way, you said that someone died, did they? Well, I know the journalists did.
安水人はまだ死んでないけど、死んだも同然だろう。
Yasumizu's people are still alive, but they're all as good as dead.
なんでそう思ったの？
Why do you think that?
なんでとかは僕にはわからん。けどなんかね。
Who knows? I'm not good at reasons, but, well...
匠兄がヘビだって言った時、嫌な感じがしたんだ。
When Takamini he said he was the snake, I had a bad feeling come over me.
ああ、今、狼様が笑ったなーって。
Oh, it felt like I could hear the wolves laughing.
待て、今なんて言った？
Wait, what did you just say?
狼様が笑ったなって。
I could hear the wolves
その
laughing
前だ。
before that.
匠兄がヘビだって言った時？
When Takamini said he was the
君
snake,
さんがヘビなのか？
Takami's son is the snake. Again, like I said when this was revealed to us, the audience, the first time, I don't see a point of Takami saying that unless he said it as a lie. We'll probably find out the truth later on, but he's either an idiot or a genius when it comes to doing that.
そう言ってた。
That's what he said.
ちょっと休養ができた。またな、モッチ、おじいさん。
I got some urgent business. Mochi, old man, see you both. Huh?
狼が来るぞ！
The wolf is
知
coming.
ってたのか？
You knew.
は
Shit, I didn't have the time nor the connections.
あ、ムロさん。
Muro-san.
なんだ？
What? That was my line. Why was he arming at a time like this?
鍵、ありがとうございます。
Thank you for the key.
ああ、それはいいけど、あんま一人でうろつくなよ。ただでさえみんなピリピリしてんだから。
Oh, don't mention it, but don't walk around by yourself. Everyone's on edge as it is. But we were told to stay away from or Chamey-san, so why do you say that now?
そのことですが、ムロさんは狼が一晩に何人殺すか知ってますか？
About that, do you know how many humans the wolves can kill per night?
ちえみのやつ、そんなことまで喋ったのかよ。
Chamey when told you about it, huh?
僕が無理に聞き出したんです。というか、話が伝わることはあなたも予想した上で、ちえみちゃんに任せたはずだ。
I insisted on it. In fact, you had to have seen that coming when you sent her to meet me. Or he's an idiot.
それでも情報は断片的ですが、ちょっと心配があるんです。すみませんが、教えてもらえませんか？
The info I have is still limited, but I'm a bit worried. Sorry to bother you, but can you tell me more?
実のところな、俺はバカらしいんだよ。こんなことで他の世話は邪魔されんのがよ。
Sorry won't cut it. It's a huge bother. I don't want to waste any time on this dumb shit. I have a farm to care
ちな
for.
みにあんたにはわかるかと思ったが、結局あんたもマジになってんのか？
I thought you and Chamey would understand, but you're serious about this too? Well, he really didn't seem all that bothered by all this, but
二人死んでいる。
two people already died.
何が珍しいんだ。
What of it?
は？
あのな、人間なんざいくらでも死んでるし、俺はいくらでも片付けてる。
Listen, people die all the time, and I'm always stuck cleaning it up. What was he talking
俺の
about?
土砂崩れの現場見たか？ありゃ8年前に野里が手入れたら崩れて、そのまんまになってる。
Did you see the aftermath of the landslide uphill? It's been like that ever since. And Nosato got to work on the place 8 years ago and it collapsed.
で片付けもしやがらねえ。作業員の死体は俺が掘り出して埋めた。
They were too freaked out to even clean it up. I ended up digging out the workers' corpses and burying them. I had no idea that was such a big
バ
deal.
カな町の奴らが山ん中で首つって獣に食われることもある。俺やおやっさんが苦労して片付ける羽目になる。
Then there's the idiots from the city coming here just to hang themselves or getting eaten by wild beasts. Me and the old man always have to deal with the mess.
サラナに死体が流れることも珍しくねえ。渓流釣りだかなんだか知らねえが、上流は危ねえっつうのによ。
It's not rare for Saranaga to bring us corpses either. I don't know if they're mountain fishers or something, but it's dangerous upstream, damn it.
それでもな、誰も何もしてくれねえ。俺らとしちゃな、無縁仏で埋めて、それで終わりにしてきたこった。
And yet no one cares. I pick them, give them all nameless graves and leave it at that.
山っつうのは、獣が出ようが、ムクロが出ようが、何でもありなんだよ、兄ちゃん。
Beasts, corpses, you never know what you'll find in the mountains, kid.
今回は村の中で。
But this time it was in the village.
なんだろうな。月の輪が人を食うなんざ聞かねえし。もしかして本物の狼でも群れで来たかもな。
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. I never heard of Asian black bears eating humans, so maybe we got a pack of actual wolves here. Or maybe bears really did start eating humans.
あれが野獣の仕業だと。
You're saying that was done by beasts?
人間の仕業だっつうのもどうなんだ？要は夜に番を立てりゃいい話だろうが、なぜバカみてえに殺し合う必要がある？
And you're saying that was done by humans? What of it? If we have to create a night patrol, why the hell do we have to kill each other? This person was hard to read. There was no denying he had a good head on his shoulders. He was reasonable and skeptical about the unknown. On the other hand, there were some things he put even above rationality. It felt like something you could call Yasumizu's rules, or better yet, fellowship. He looked at the situation from the perspective of I gotta protect Yasumizu. He did whatever he could within those constraints, but he was in denial about the existence of enemies originating from within Yasumizu. To him, the situation was just a common case of some outsiders died, so what? Or maybe that was what he really wanted to think. That made the situation very bad. But I, being an outsider, couldn't say that.
そうですよね。おっしゃる通り、そんな迷信に耳を貸す方がどうかしてます。
That's true. Like you say, there's something wrong with anyone believing such superstition. He looked displeased. What was I supposed to do?
ちょっと気になるんです。伝説で今夜一晩で皆殺しになるとかなってるなら心の持ちようが違う。
But I'm curious about what I asked first. Do the legends say that everyone dies the first night or what? I need to know how to feel about this.
ああ、それはねえな。狼が殺すってのは一晩に一人だけのはずだ。
Oh, that won't happen. Wolves can only kill one person per night.
そうなんですか？伝説上、それはなぜだってことになってるんでしょう。
Really? But why? What does the legend have to say about
ばあ
it?
ちゃんなんつってたかな。
What did Ba-chan say again?
誰も山の掟には逆らえん。世持つ狼様であっても。だった。
Let's see, no one can go against the laws of the mountain, not even the Yomotsu Okami-sama.
よもつ狼
Yomotsu Okami?
蘇った狼って意味だと。
Wolves that have returned from Yomi, apparently. Oh, weird. I felt like I'd heard that term before. Still, wasn't it weird that the laws applied to the wolves too? They were on the Yomibito's side, as in those opposing the mountain. And I was pretty sure the law of the mountain said that only one person could be killed per day. Lynching one during the day was the limit, and killing more than one per night was against the rules. Both would make you the target of the corruption. It didn't make much sense to me, but at least I found out that the wolves too could only kill one person per
変
night.
なこと聞いてすみませんでした。おとなしく引っ込んでおきます。
Sorry for bothering you with weird questions. I'll get out of your way. Oh, right.
男手がいるときは言ってください。勝手に手は出さないでおきますが、ここに居候してる分、働きたいんです。
By the way, if you need an extra pair of hands, just ask. I won't meddle any further than I have to. But you're letting me stay here, so at least I can do... so the least I can do is earn my keep.
ああ、そうだな。
Yeah, sure. His last reply was half-hearted, but at least I got a bit of the rules I was missing. When I came back to the dining hall, I found the students, Jamie and Yoshisugu-kun. Yasunaga's little brother Mako had left.
うんこマンじゃない、ハッサン。
It's Poop Man, I mean Hassan.
うんこマン
Poop Man?
何それ。
What? The name still got a chance to spread. That aside, I had to find out what happened at today's feast. Recalling what Mochi told me made this kind of hard.
悪いけど、ちょっとちえみちゃん借りていい？
Sorry, but can I borrow Chamie-chan?
わお、ちえみさん大人気。
Wow, I sure am popular these
あ
days.
なたは懲りないわね。
Why, you just can't take a hint, can you?
はるちゃん、いいから僕らは母さんを手伝おう。
Haru-chan, let's just help
兄
Mom.
ちゃんも何か言ってよ。
You say something too.
難しい話なんだよ。
It's probably something
皿を
complicated.
叩き割る係。
I'll be the one who breaks the plates.
ハル
What
ちゃ
the?
ん、近持くんを押さえつける係。
Haru-chan, you be the one who holds him back.
何よこれ。
Oh, hey, what's going on?
ごめんね、なんかバタバタして。
Sorry about the commotion.
安永くんと何を話してた？
What did you tell Yasunaga-kun?
さっきの宴でね、ちょっとまずいよねって。
We talked about today's feast. Things aren't looking good. Yeah, I figured it was something like
たくみ
that.
さんがヘビって名乗ったと、近持くんから聞いたんだけど。
Chikamochi-kun told me that Takumi-san revealed he's the snake.
そうなんだよね。
He did.
他にヘビは？
Are there any other snakes? This is a good question to ask. Because other than the monkey and the wolves, we do need to know how many there can be.
他？いや、ヘビは一人だし。
Others? No, there's only one snake. The mountain gave 4 kinds of guardians. The snake could ask the mountain whether one of the participants was a wolf or not. The monkey was the only one of which there were 2. They had the power to know who the other monkey was. The crow could determine whether the person who was lynched the previous day was a wolf or not. and the spider could ask God to protect one of the other participants from the wolves' attacks. Honestly, if this so-called God really had that power, I'd complain to him that he should protect everyone. As far as I knew, anyone who didn't have a guardian was either a powerless human or a wolf. The humans could kill a person during the day, while the wolves could kill a person during the night. It was a battle for survival. The humans had to do everything to find and kill the wolves. If they couldn't find a single wolf during the feast, the whole event was completely meaningless. The wolves would simply crush the settlement.
殺人の是非を一旦脇に置くならば、今日狼容疑者を選べなかったことは、単純に一日ロスだよね。
If you ignore the fact that it's murder, the fact that you didn't choose a wolf suspect today is pretty bad. It's a day wasted, isn't it?
そうだね。そのこともさっきヤス君と話してた。
Yeah, that's what I told
そして
Yasu-kun.
実質ヘビの正体が確定してしまった。
Then there's the fact that the snake outed himself. Well, again, we don't know if he's telling the truth or not.
うん。ちょっと嫌な状況だね。
It's pretty bad. She understood it well. We couldn't expect the help of the police or getting a forensic investigation. Not to mention we were up against supernatural monsters. As things were, the snake's power was the only way to find out who was a wolf or not. In other words, losing the snake would mean losing their most powerful weapon against the wolves.
多分今日は大丈夫なんだ。クモは匠兄ちゃんを守るようにってことになったから。
But he should be fine for today. The spider will protect Takumi-ni-chan. Again, that's what they claim. But spider could turn their back easily too.
待って。雲をバレたのか。
Hold on, we also know the spider? No, we don't. That's the one thing that we don't know.
ヤス君がこの場で明かせば狼にも聞かれるから秘密にしておこうって。
No, Yasu-kun suggested that whoever it is keep it a secret so that the wolves don't find out.
それで
Sharp.
肝臓じいちゃんが OK 出して方針が決まったんだ。
Konzo Ji-chan agreed and we went with
正
that.
しそうだね。
Seems like the right move.
ヘビについてもそういう風にできればよかったのかな。
It does. We probably should have done the same with the snake. They really should have. It was best to secretly gather info without revealing their guardians. Especially for the snake. He should have kept quiet and used his power to find out as much as reasonably possible before revealing himself. I knew it was difficult to figure out right away, but the fact that the snake, the most important role, was the first to be outed was really bad. From my perspective, Takumi-san had been so focused on protecting Yoshimizu himself that he'd made a terrible mistake. He appeared calm, but I wouldn't have been surprised if he realized this and was actually pretty shaken.
どうなると思う？
What do you think will happen? She asked like she already knew the
雲
answer.
は言われるがままに匠さんを守る。当然、狼もそれを聞いているんだから。
The spider was told to protect Takumi-san. The wolves obviously heard
匠
that.
さんを殺そうとすれば、雲が阻むんだろう。どうやるのかは知らないが。
If they try to go for him, the spider will stop them, right? No idea how, though.
だね。結果、1日分の殺人権をロスする。
Yeah, and with that, they'd lose one day's worth of murders. Jamie seemed to process this as a logic game
が
too.
狼なら、匠さんは無視して、別の誰かを殺す。
If I were a wolf, I'd ignore Takumi-san and go for someone
春
else.
明さんもそう思うか。ちなみに、狙われるとしたら誰かな？
You think so too? Who do you think they'll go
そ
for?
れはわからない。狼側の選択傾向がわからないからね。
I don't know. I have no idea what the wolves are prioritizing. Yeah, that is a hard one to think of, but in my mind, it would be good to find out who's the spider off them first as the wolves.
奴らが女子供の血をすすりたいとかなら、狙われるのは若い子たちだろうし。
If they prefer the blood of women and children, they'd probably go for the younger people.
怖い。
大
Scary.
丈夫。ちえみちゃんより若い子がいるから。
Don't worry, you're not the youngest girl here. I'll kill ya.
大丈夫。美人狙いだったら、一頭。
It's fine, you're still the prettiest.
許す。でも、それはそれで嫌だね。殺される前に何されるかわかんないし。
I'll forgive you, though. That still sounds pretty bad. Who knows what they'll do before killing me? I'm sure there were plenty of things they could conceive. Apparently there was another layer to the worst possible
趣
scenario.
味以外の方向で言えば、そうだな。殺すことで村人側が大きく動揺するような人物。
If they're not killing based on their preferences, then they'll kill someone whose death would shake the
集
villagers.
落の有力者、あるいは今後のゲーム展開を左右するような優秀なプレイヤー。
That'd be someone influential or a player who's invaluable to the
半蔵
humans.
じいちゃん。あるいはヤスくん。
That'd be Konzo Ji-chan or Yasu-kun. That seemed likely. Yasunagu-kun was the only one who'd done something helpful for the villagers this time. He seemed to be the leader of the high schoolers and had a good head on his shoulders. But his ideas required Konzo Makshimashi's approval, which made it pretty clear he was a handout. Honestly, I'd expect him to take more initiative than he had, but the fact he considered the younger people's opinions showed real leadership skills. In any case, he wasn't someone the humans wanted to lose. Oh yeah.
匠さんが誰を調べるかは決めたの？
Did he decide who Takumi-san will investigate?
清之助さん。
Yeah, it's Kiyonosuke-san.
何そのチョイス。
Well, what's with that
何
choice?
って、本人の希望で。あと、人間関係的に不利な人から優先的に調べて、安全性を上げようっていう。
What do you mean? He asked for it and we wanted to prioritize those who are the least popular. I'd make them safer. I wasn't so sure about that choice. Those who were confirmed as non-wolves would have much more freedom to act. At the very least, they wouldn't be suspected as wolves who were trying to exploit the situation during the feast. That being the case, shouldn't they have opted to choose potential leader to investigate? Well, I didn't really know if Kiyonosuke no Satoshi had the skills, but from what I could tell, he definitely lacked the influence to lead. If they wanted to secure a reliable leader, they should have went for someone like Kanzo Makishimashi. But wait.
もし蛇の対象がその夜に狼にやられてしまうなら、蛇が無駄になるか。
If the snake's target is killed by the wolves, the snake's power will be wasted, right?
死んだ人はカラスが調べればいいことだから。
The dead can be investigated by the crow after all.
違うよ。夜に殺されるのは狼が選ぶんだから、間違いなく人間だよ。
No, those killed at night are chosen by the wolves. They're obviously
カラス
humans.
はあくまで昼に宴で選ばれて殺された人の正体を知れるだけ。
The crow can only investigate those chosen and killed during the daily feasts.
そうか。確かに。
Oh, I see. Makes sense. Whatever the case, perhaps investigating Kiyonosuke Shi wasn't that much of a mistake. Did that mean they were actually doing a decent job? Well, it'd be pretty bad if Kanzashi was the one to go. Jamie looked gloomy. She and I probably felt that it wasn't a complete blunder, but still had a bad feeling about it. During the feast, everyone had to lock themselves somewhere all alone around every sunset. It was called sheltering. Well, I could understand it considering the hidden legends, but I'd still wondered why the students didn't go to school. It was a weekday. When I asked, they just told me, why would we leave when it's so dangerous? The idea that they couldn't leave when the mist was here was so popular it affected their daily lives. Also, the people at Kamifujioshi had to know that Yasumizu was covered in mist, right? Considering the school there probably had a few students to begin with, the non-presence of the three from Yasumizu would normally be a serious problem. I knew it was a settlement for the ostracized, but did they really neglect this place that badly? Looking at it from that angle, it was safe to assume that the local village Fujioshi included actually concealed the feast of the Yomi Purge. I thought about that and similar things in room 203 of the student dorm, the place I was given. Jamie had given me some cup ramen and hot water. We chatted for a moment about being neighbors for a while, and then she returned to her room. Weird we could be so casual about this, considering there was a chance we wouldn't meet again tomorrow. After dinner, I took a bath. The gas boiler was pretty damn old, so learning how to use it took a while. Hey Mira, how are you doing? And did you check out today's question of the day? There were some working electrical outlets too, so I could charge my phone. I didn't have a wristwatch, so that was important. By the way, my room didn't have a kitchen. I was pretty sure the other rooms didn't either. From what I could tell, no one... Let's see... You've got a cough, huh? Let's see... From what I could tell, no one here actually cooked or ate at their own homes. They all relied on the dining hall to provide their meals. This settlement had not only a unique culture, but a way of life as well. I couldn't help but wonder. It didn't, huh? That's too bad. Let's see. This settlement had not only a unique culture, but a way of life as well. I couldn't help but wonder how something like this began and survived into the modern era. It was an interesting subject to research, but for now, I had to worry about the fact that my life was in danger. Anyway, what were my options now? I wasn't part of the feast, but walking around at night was probably dangerous regardless. After all, I had memories of getting killed doing exactly that. From a logical standpoint, that was probably just a dream, but it had a quality to it that made it hard to believe it was. I had to be careful until I was certain. Then again, I had a record of surviving by not just making any noise at night. Maybe I should have stayed awake and looked around. Also, Takumi-san had said they were gonna have someone keep watch at night, didn't he? Was he gonna do it himself? Considering the snake's importance, he shouldn't do something so dangerous. Shit, they barely decided anything in the feast. I wasn't getting enough info either. I felt like I barely knew the basics. As far as I know, some of the people taking part in the so-called feast are idiots. Talking during the feast meant giving info to the wolves, but if the humans kept too many things hidden, the wolves would end up knowing way more than them, and that was just dangerous. Still, there was a limit to what I could do in my situation. If I kept being the messenger I was today, I could create a huge imbalance of info myself. Not to mention, I could be deemed suspicious and lose the residents' trust. Shit, what was I supposed to do here? Was it best for me to just stay quiet and wait for the feast to end? Well, the command to bring it up should be in the stream title. The one that starts with the exclamation point. That's it. So what's your response to the question there, Mira, about your superhero name? See, that wasn't like me at all. There was a metal slot on the door. I opened it up and looked outside. Everything was still covered in mist, so I couldn't see much. I could only see the handrail and the branches going in the hallway. But maybe I could see some intruder if I kept staring? Not likely. After all, this was the room at the end of the second floor. Haru-chan and Zenchimi's rooms were closer to the stairs, so I couldn't see anyone going to attack them. The only time I could see the monster come would be when it was coming for me. Maybe keeping watch like this was the most important thing if I wanted to stay alive, but I found it hard to put my own life on the priority list. For some reason, I felt like I died. For some reason, I felt like if I died, I'd just go back to the starting point. Yeah, better not think that anyway. I had to stay awake. I still had many things to worry and think about. 14th, huh? What? As I woke up and tried to move, my head rubbed against something tough and then smacked into the doorknob. I writhed in pain. What was going on? Did I fall asleep against the door? Was I more tired than I thought? I was glad I didn't die at all, but this was a failure in my eyes. Sleeping in an unnatural position made my whole body hurt. I wobbled over to my fully charged phone. It was 6 o'clock. That was early morning for me. I'd have loved to just go back to sleep, but I was too curious about the feast. After washing my face with hot water and putting on my shoes, I decided to take a peek through the mail slot. What the? Is he going to die? Let's see. Outside, I saw Jamie standing there with a knife in hand. He's going to die. I'm ready to see it. I reflexively stepped back, tripped, and fell on my ass. What the hell was that? There was a woman standing before my room with a weapon. I'd only caught a glimpse, but that was enough to conclude that I was dealing with a scene straight out of a horror movie. What could have prompted this? Did she suspect I was a wolf, or was she a wolf herself? She knocked on the door, making me squeal a bit.
春秋さん、 起きてる？
Araki-san, are you awake? Would she kill me if I
荒
replied?
木さん起きて。他のみんなの様子を見て回るから、付き合ってほしいんだ。
Wake up, I need a hand checking on everyone.
ちなみに、私は現在凶器を所持してますが、ご信用につき心配なきよう。
By the way, I'm armed, but it's just for self-defense. Sure, it's just for self-defense. Sure.
紛らわしい。
Say that sooner, damn it.
あ、起きてた。大丈夫、大丈夫。ほら、凶器はちょっと離れたところに置きました。
Oh, so you are awake. Don't worry, I just put the weapon away. I hesitantly peeked through the mail slot and saw her hopping around, showing me her empty hands. After meeting up with Jamie, we went around the dorm and woke up. The students, all of them were alright. While they got ready, we went to the Nasato mansion just cause it was close. Yasumizu was still misty and unpleasantly silent. I walked carefully just like yesterday morning. I couldn't write off the possibility that a werewolf would jump out of the mist and tear me apart. It'd be over for me. I was walking ahead, dragging Jamie by the hand, careful about where I was going. If something happened and I got eaten or something, Jamie could either fight back or run away. Is someone there?
野里さん、夫妻子とちえみちゃんです。
Oh, Nasato-san, it's Fusaishi and Jamie-chan.
どこだ？そこか。
Where? Oh, there? We peered through the mist, and a gloomy frown appeared.
いやー、どうも。
Hey
屋
there.
敷は大丈夫だったみたいですね。
Looks like the mansion was
当
safe.
然だろう。屋敷には古臭いながらもセキュリティ設備が設けられている。バケモノだろうが侵入できるとは思えんね。
Of course it's old, but well protected. Not even monsters could make it in, surely. If... Well, I wasn't sure either, but I was like, if it was a villain name that I was thinking of, it would be it would be your worst nightmare, but then again I thought, hey, that would be kind of funny if it were a hero name too, your worst nightmare. Let's see, I think I missed something there in the reply, so let me check on things. Okay, so it's probably YouTube side. Let me check on this. But I hope it's who I think it is. Okay, there we go. Oh, hey Jason, how's it going? What's your response to today's question of the day, Jason? And I hope you're doing well. Of course it's old, but well protected. Not even monsters could make it in, surely. I'm going, sure. It might be misty right now. But if this were Genshin, I could easily just climb that gate and get in.
そっか。じゃあみんなで避難させてもらえます？
I see. Then can we all take shelter inside? He's not gonna allow that.
なんでそんなことをせねばならんのかね。これは安水の問題だろう。
Why should I let you? This is Yasumizu's problem, not mine. It is your problem, pal. And that's why I want to punch you in the face.
そっか、そうですよね。じゃあ休みずの問題解決のため、とっとと下に降りてます。
You would, huh? Kind of an interesting choice there. But yeah, just imagine how funny it would be if there was a superhero whose name was Your Worst Nightmare. Let's see. I see. Good point. Then we'll just get moving and solve the problem, I guess.
待ちたまえ。急ぎ動かないと危険だろう。
Oh, wait. It's dangerous. We need to be in groups. Really, I was beginning to think this guy was best described as all bark, no bite. That's true. Though you do keep looking that stuff up, too. Let's see. Though prideful and vain, he wasn't as smart as he claimed to be, as shown by his inability to take charge of the feast. Also, his fussy attitude is probably just him making up for his fear. Yeah, that's true. And I still haven't got a response from you yet, Jason, about the question, if you haven't. Yeah. Street justice actually sounds cool. And I'm doing good. Just kind of relaxing here. Just got my day started and not much else to talk about other than being intrigued about the mystery of this visual novel. Let's see. It was entirely possible he was just putting on an air, and that mystery of Yasumizu, or rather Fujiyoshi, was actually scaring him. Anyway, we went downhill and met up with the students. Even a familiar road can be scary.
霧って不思議だ。
Yeah, mists sure are weird. Hey, if we had Animo Traveler from Genshin, we could just blast this mist away. I can get naked and no one will get mad. Mochi should just move to a nudist colony with him saying all that.
やめろ、バカ者。
Stop that, you fool. Haru Makishima was acting weird. Mochi was definitely expecting a retort from her. She didn't say anything and her face was so pale you could tell through the mist. So pale you could tell through the mist. Her head, and hanging her head, she was slightly shaking. Everyone else could see it too, but no one chose to address it. Questions would quickly become suspicious after all. Perhaps she was a wolf and did something horrific last night. As we all thought similar things, she suddenly collapsed to the ground. Are you alright? Don't touch me. Remorse screams shot out to everyone. Haru-chan?
ちゃん、違う。
Ni-chan, I just...
ごめん。だけど、今は
Sorry, but right now I...
そうだよね。神経質にもなるよ。
Yeah, I can
気をつけて。
Yeah, I can understand if you're on edge. Be careful about where you walk. We then slowed down. Haru-chan, not touching anyone's hands, was at the rear of the group. As we walked, trees and stones drifted in and out of visibility through the surrounding mist. Our vision was so limited, it felt like the world around us was changing with every step we took. No, that's part of the mystery. And even if we knew at this point it could all be a lie, like, we know who the snake, aka the investigator, is, or we supposedly do, because he blurted it out, but I don't know if he's telling the truth or he's was lying at that point. If he was lying at that point when he blurted it out, he's a genius. If he's telling the truth, he's an idiot. Let's see. A tunnel of trees, a path on a muddy field, a stone platform, a concrete stairway. We walked between realms every passing second. But what I can say, Jason, is there are multiple wolves. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So at this point, who knows who's telling the truth and who's not? But I'm sure we'll find out as things progress further. Let's see. I was still wondering about Haru-chan. What was on her mind? Was she afraid or Harry? After this... Yeah. But that's what just makes this interesting. See, after descending for a bit, we arrived at the plaza.
無事に
I see all of you are alright. We met two more people in front of the dining hall. Are the elders sleeping in?
ばあちゃんは身支度中だ。体調が良くねえらしい。
Ba-chan's still getting dressed. She's not feeling too great right
だか
now.
ら来てねえ連中のところを回る。キヨ、お前はついてこい。
Let's check on those who aren't here yet. Come with me, Kyo.
なぜ君が私に命令する？
Why are you ordering me? Why do you do so much to make me want to punch you in the face, Kiyonosuke?
男手がいるかもしれねえからだ。久し、悪いがあんたも頼むぜ。
Because we might need some manpower. Fusaishi, you come too. This was the first time he'd ordered me to do something, but it wasn't a situation where I could be happy about him relying on me.
ええ、もちろん。
Yes, of course. He probably had a bad feeling. Namely, that he wouldn't be able to rely on a certain someone ever again. As I passed by Kaori-san, I heard her whisper,
安永、ちょっといい？
Yasunaga, can you help?
何母さん。
With what, Mom?
義継を探してほしいの。離れにいないようだから。
Finding Yoshisugu, he's missing. He could be dead too, but good point in wanting to find him there. Everyone probably had a bad feeling about this. But then again, if Yoshisugu is dead, did the so-called corruption kill him? Because otherwise, every one of the individual roles can only take one life at a particular time. So that's kind of the mystery part right here. But yeah, everyone probably had a bad feeling about this. The three of us guys checked the houses. Yasunaga-kun, Jamie, and Mochi walked around the settlement. We agreed to split up and start searching. The misty village was silent. I couldn't hear anyone chatting. I'd seen these buildings from the outside, but it was my first time actually walking in. The shabby buildings, built using blackened planks, were more or less buried in vegetation. Some were on the verge of collapse. The way their frames jutted from the mist reminded me of the carcasses of giant beasts. I walked on a line between the grass, a footpath surely. I often heard something small jump in the grass. It was probably just some bugs or frogs, but it still made me flinch. Rikako-san lives here, right?
そこんちだ。
Yeah, in that house.
なんだって彼女がこんな場所に住まねばならん。
Shit, why must she live in a place like
お前が
this?
知らねえんだったら、俺らが知るわけねえだろうが。身車あたりの指図じゃねえのか？
If you don't know, there's no way we would. I'd guess it's the Migurama's orders.
私が知る限りでは、彼女が休みずに移ったのは自主的とのことだがね。第一必要がない。
To my knowledge, she moved to Yasumizu of her own accord, and there's no need for her to be here in the first
たら
place.
霧が立つんで、魔除けのまじないでもしに来たんじゃねえか。無駄だったがよ。
Maybe she knew the mist was coming and came to cast a spell or something to keep it away. That sure didn't work, though.
私ならともかく、彼女相手にあんまり口が過ぎるんじゃないかね。相手は上藤吉の長者の正統だぞ。
Takumi Muro, I don't mind you being disrespectful of me, but you should choose your words when talking about her. She's a legitimate Kamifujiyoshi family head. And I want to punch you in the face, Kiyonosuke.
知るか。ここは休みずだ。あいつ自分で言ってたろうが。宴になりゃみんな食われんだよ。
Like I care, this is Yasumizu. She said it herself, didn't she? In the feast, we're all served on the same platter.
リカコさん、リカコさん、ご無事ですか？
Rikako-san, are you alright? Apparently Takumi-san didn't like the Uematsu family, or the four-head families in general. Now that I thought about it, though, she wasn't as disliked as Kiyonosuke. The villagers in general weren't fond of Rikako Uematsu. It seemed like a pretty obvious outcome, though. Yasumizu was the settlement for the ostracized. It was impossible for a member of one of the head families who openly spurned them to form a good relationship with the locals. Rikako-san emerged before too long. She was wearing her usual strange getup, and she didn't seem any different from how she looked yesterday.
連れて行きませんと。
I need to check on Mako. We moved on to the next house. It felt like Rikako-san was urging me, so I woke up the girl. And also woke the girl up.
朝だよ。
Eiko-chan, it's morning. Well, I couldn't imagine Rikako-san raising her voice, while the other two probably didn't feel like they had to get involved with the girl. After a few calls, she finally came out, still half asleep. Bah.
メイコ、よかった。
Meiko, I'm glad you're alright.
二人を食堂まで連れて行ってやれ。
Kyo, take them to the dining hall.
こちらへ。足元に気をつけて。
Come with me, Rikako-san. Watch your step. Yes, She was apparently trying to get my attention, so I turned around and said
ご
yes.
めんなさい。
I'm sorry. Her sudden apology left me completely confused. She then departed alongside the other two, leaving me alone with Takumi-san.
清之助さんがいなくて。
Are you sure we should go on without
どうせ
Kinosuke-san?
役に立たねえ。植松の坊主もどきがくたばってたら、運ばせようと思ってたけどよ。
He'd be useless anyway. I only brought him along in case it was the Uematsu's mock priestess that died. Mock priestess?
もう、誰がやられたか分かったから。
But now I know who got killed. Hmm?
まだ、狼じじい氏の可能性も。
It could still be the old wolf guy, right?
適当言うな！おやっさんが生きてたら誰より早起きして、とっくに休みずを3週くらいはしてるっつうんだ！
Shut up. If old man Kanzo was around, he'd have woken up earlier than anyone and searched the length of Yasumizu 3 times by now. Are you sure he's dead, Takumi? Because something else could have happened and he's still alive. This makes me want to suspect that you're one of the wolves and you lied about being a snake, and if that's the case, you are a genius. Except for that little slip up there. That is.
すまねえ。奥のが、おやっさんの家だ。
Sorry, his house is over there. I followed him in silence. I couldn't think of anything to say. The fact the door was unlocked made it clear that something wasn't right. The moment I opened it, my nostrils were assaulted by a smell I'd experienced just yesterday. The reek of a fresh corpse. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Alright, looks like we got our confirmation here of a death, so maybe you're not, but you could still be a wolf. Unlike Takumi-san, who is looking away and cursing, I did my best to burn the scene I witnessed into my memory. I felt like to avert my eyes would be disrespectful and chided myself for wanting to look away. His body was much more intact than Mamiya-san and Hashimoto-san's. That made it much easier to become painfully aware of the fact that this was a human, an intelligent life form who was with us yesterday like it was no big deal. There was one problem, though. The part of the body that used to be the head was completely destroyed. There was no part of the head left untouched. It was that thorough. It was obviously the result of relentless, heavy, blunt attacks. Everything above the neck was just a strange, flat mess of shattered skull fragments. in white and red organic matter. Compared to it, everything else was largely unharmed. The old-looking clothing and unexpectedly robust chest for someone his age were all the proof needed to know that this was the body of Kanzo Makishimashi.
片付けるんですか？
We'll clean it up.
当たり前だろ。
What
少し
else?
だけ時間をください。
Please wait a
どう
bit.
する気だ。
What are you gonna do?
できる限りのことを調べます。
Find out as much as I can. And that's a good route to go about it, by looking at this. Because all the information we can get is important. Since we had no idea when we could get out of here, protecting the scene of the crime for an official investigation meant we had to leave the body to rot here, and we just couldn't do that. And considering the horrible state it was in, the villagers probably wanted to take care of it in their own way as soon as possible. Not much I could do to stop that, unless I did my duty as someone without such obligations. This corpse is completely unlike the ones from yesterday. While those two were destroyed completely, the damage on this one was focused on the head. The weapon clearly wasn't sharp. They'd used something blunt. The skin on his face was torn, but not sliced apart, and the skull was shattered. This was caused by repeated blunt attacks on the head. It wasn't my job to picture whether there was some profound grudge in this. The only clear thing here was that the wolves killed him using something blunt, not claws or fangs. And it was obviously done with dedicated intent, not accidentally. At the very least, the entity that made this corpse wasn't the same as the one that made the ones from yesterday. It made sense if you separated them and assumed that yesterday's was the corruption and today's was the wolves. But the thing I'd seen when I was walking around at night that time had the appearance of a wolf, or rather a werewolf. If the werewolves were the ones bringing the corruption, the tale all this was based on would make even less sense. If the corruption was Great Lord Shinae's, the mountain god's punishment, it'd be weird for it to be delivered by the wolves. Holding back my nausea, I looked back at the corpse. Then I rolled back my sleeves and reached for the destroyed head.
おい、何を。
Hey, what are you doing?
ますが、一応調べます。
I'm pretty sure I'm wrong, but I'll still have a look. Decapitation meant body doubles. Mystery writing IQ. No, history writing 101. Body doubles? Why, like, sure you'd have two pieces, the head and the body, but this was blunt trauma with the skull crushing. If someone brought in and killed a person with a similar build to Kanzashi's, then left him here, his death could easily be fake. Yep, that makes sense.
肝臓さん、下顎に銀歯ありました。
Did Kanzo-san have a similar kept tooth in his lower jaw?
いや、ねえよ。
No, he didn't. His voice was strangely forced. I looked at him and realized he was kind of pale. I might have overdone it, still I couldn't be soft in this
さ
situation.
んは60過ぎて差し歯も何にも入れてねえのを自慢してたから。
He was proud that he didn't need any crowns or anything despite being over 60. Why did you find one? Why did you find one?
誘導を避けるための質問です。健康な歯がびっしりですよ。
No, I only asked to prevent any misdirection. It's a healthy set of teeth.
なんだよ。
What the hell? The lower jaw was mostly intact, while the upper one was destroyed along with the rest of the head. Despite that, I saw a hint of the old man in the eyebrows and the dark hair with streaks of gray in them. It was pretty clear it was the one and only Kanzuma Kashimashi, so it was probably pointless to keep thinking about the way he was injured. My hands were all messy. I'd have to wash them later. The corpse aside, Kanzashi was lying on some thin bedding and there was no sign of a struggle. He was either instantly killed by the first attack or knocked out, laid here, and then killed. Still, it wasn't a corpse that was easy to make. The situation here was peculiar. One point I found curious was the fact that Kanzashi surely obeyed the shelter law and locked himself in. However, the lock on the door was still perfectly intact. So logically speaking, Kanzashi had opened the door and let the culprit in. There was no sign of resistance, so it was probably done by someone he felt safe with. Well, this makes sense, but aren't you supposed to be sleeping throughout the night here? That's what I don't get. However, if this was a normal killing by the standards of the Feast of the Yomi Purge, then this was definitely made possible by something unnatural. Back to the situation at hand. The futon and everything around it were bloody, obviously, but there was another strange thing about the crime scene, the dampness. Some spots were really wet and clearly not because of the mist. It was like the murderer purposely spread some water here. Were they trying to wash away the blood spatter on them? But there was no point in doing it in front of the body. The footprints were faded. Were they trying to cover their tracks? And they were still pretty visible, though. It's more like they put bloody footprints on a futon and tatami mat that was already wet. The shape of the prints told me they weren't made by Western shoes. Japanese clogs or wild beasts. They were just long ovals reminiscent of those made by Zori sandals. There weren't many of them, though most of the blood was absorbed by the futon. But from what I had, I could tell there was only one type of footprint.
何か分かったのかよ。
Find out anything?
ことは
Nothing special.
だろうな。あんた別にそっちの専門家じゃねえんだろう。
Thought so. You don't specialize in this, do you?
ええ、残念ながら。
Sadly, no. All I knew was that the culprit was a very dangerous human. As I washed my hands, Takumi-san removed the sliding door and put Kanza-san's remains on it. He covered his destroyed face with a nearby hand towel and prepared to carry it.
一度頼む。
You take the other side. Got it. We lifted it up, and yeah, this was definitely a job for two people. We went out into the mist.
サラナガに捨てるんですか？
Are we throwing him into Saranaga?
ばあちゃんはそうしろって。
That's what Ba-chan would
そう
want.
しなければ 汚れると
Because he'll be corrupted if we don't? Yeah. A voice devoid of life. I couldn't call out to him. Pushing him any further was dangerous. I could tell by the air about
俺
him.
のせいだ。
It's my fault.
どうしてです
Why?
宴でヘマやったから。
Because I messed up in the feast. Yeah, messed up in the feast. That was entirely possible. This proved he was aware of it himself. I would have said that, but it felt wrong.
よくわかりませんが
I don't know
少なくと
much.
も匠さんがご自分なりにベストを尽くそうとされてるように見えますよ
But I think you're trying to do your
だ
best.
からって失敗したら何にもならねえ。
But what's the point if I mess up like this?
じゃあ取り返さないとですねこれからは多分あなたが安水をまとめていくことになる
Then you need to make up for it. I think you'll have to be the one who leads Yasumizu now.
俺には無理だ。
I can't. Well, I couldn't either. I was just an outsider, so I had no idea how to console him. Feeling powerless, we approached the dining hall. We'd passed by here and go straight for the graveyard. Tai Yamawaki-san had come out too, he in the midst of prayer. Kari Oribe-san was standing next to her. She looked completely out of it. Rikako Uematsu was covering Meiko-san on Meiko's eyes and looking straight at me. Haru-chan, Kanzo-san's actual granddaughter, was watching her grandfather's corpse with an intense expression. It probably wasn't good to make any assumptions here, but I couldn't help it. I felt like her expression was full not of unbearable sorrow, but of anger, hatred, and disgust. I'd never seen them have a nice chat, so I wouldn't have been surprised if they didn't see eye to eye. But still, I'd have liked it if she made a different expression, if only for this moment. I could only think that because I was an outsider who didn't know shit. It wasn't good to make assumptions. Shit. Why was I in this position? Just how much could I even learn in my position? But as it turned out, I was still underestimating the situation.
よし君はどこにもいない。
We can't find Yoshi-kun anywhere. We met Jamie on the way to the graveyard. She and the two high school guys were still searching, but the mist made it extremely difficult. We told her we'd join once we buried Kanzo-san and picked up our pace. The graveyard wasn't that far. Yasumizu wasn't very big. It only felt like it because of the mists or the load. He. I'd completely forgotten about him. He was alright too, huh? I had no idea why, but he was looking at us, clapping and laughing. That meant that Yoshisugu Oribe-kun was the only one we hadn't seen yet. I was told there'd be only one. The wolves were supposed to kill only one person per night. Not saying a word, I hurried to finish the job. That led us to finding him early. Yoshisugu-kun was on the shortest path to the cliff in the grass of the graveyard. Though Takumi-san had only noticed him by chance. That was how deep in the grass he was. And how many pieces of him there were. It reeked of death too, but it was mixed with the smell of trampled grass and a strange beastly odor. This is kind of creepy here, but from what I remember of the first bad end, somebody had to do this. So that just has me a bit curious how the corruption actually works, or if it's man-made like the first bad end seemed to suggest. But yeah, it reeked of death too, but it was mixed with the smell of trampled grass and a strange beastly odor. Maybe not all the blood around here was his. Unlike Kanza-san, he left clear proof of a tough battle and intense pain. Yoshi. You had guts. Takumi-san's voice was shaking. He picked up a soccer ball-sized object. Half-eaten and basically a shadow of what it used to be. It clenched its teeth, even in death.
いいですか?
Can I? Takumi-san gave it, Yoshisugu-kun's head, to me, and I put my finger in its mouth. I was curious about what was stuck in there. What I found was a clump of beastly fur. He literally fought tooth and nail, resisting until the very end. Resisting what? Obviously, the being that brought the corruption. It didn't take long for the news of Yoshisugu Oribe's death to spread across the village. I had heard that the pain of losing one's child was beyond any description. Even so, Kaori Oribe-san broke down so badly it felt abnormal. The mild-mannered woman became a mad beast. We had to band up to keep her from running to where we found Yoshisugu-kun's corpse. We already gathered it up and thrown it into Saranaga, after all. Takumi-san kept a tuft of the boy's bleached hair, which he gave to Kaori-san. She instantly put it in her mouth. What? Through her wailing and choking, she did her best to chew and swallow it. It was a wretched, gloomy, and miserable sight. Though it might have been an act born of ultimate motherly love. Whatever the case, no matter the shape, it was too late to try and bring her child back into herself, not to mention absurd and pointless. That was how it looked in my eyes.
宴をしよう。
Let's begin the
お
feast.
やっさんとヨシをやったやつをどうにかしないと。
We gotta do something about the one who killed the old man and Yoshi. It's kind of interesting that he said it like that. It makes it sound like that this is a whodunit, but we don't know the exact kind of mystery we're dealing with, if it's a whodunit or a how at this point, because if it was a why, then we'd probably know the person, though in a how, we could possibly also know the person too, responsible. But the way he's voicing it makes it sound like a whodunit kind of thing. His words got the attention of basically everyone present, but they didn't reach the sobbing mother and her older son, who was gently consoling her. Yoshisugu-kun. Why did he have to go against the laws? His efforts in death had only worked to corner not just his mother, but everyone else here. It was useless. He'd gotten some weird fur for us. No one, not even me, had any doubts about what we were dealing with here. In a situation where everyone was desperate, acted on their own accord, and didn't know how to use their lives well, all was basically the worst. And apparently this line of thinking I'd had would foreshadow the next turn of
はるちゃん
events.
がどっか行った
Where did Haru-chan go? Shit, why was everyone in such a hurry to do the worst things possible? Jamie Serizawa, Chikamochi Kamashita, Takumi Muro, and I went out to search for Haru Makishima. Kaori-san showed no signs of calming down, so Yasunaga-kun stayed with her. Kinosuke Shi refused to come, arguing that it could be bad if there wasn't enough manpower around the dining hall, and he wasn't wrong about that. It wasn't unlikely that some fur-covered murderer or Haru-chan's kidnapper was still around. To prevent any surprise attacks or accidents, we split into pairs. We were given a hoe and a sickle for self-defense.
二人とも
Be careful, you
やばい
two.
ことになったら全力で叫べ。低く大きい声でな。
Shout if something happens. Loud enough so we can hear you, but low enough that others can't.
よろしくな、モッチー。
Alright, let's go,
ギ
Mochi.
リ働くぞハッサン
Time to do work, Hassan. The skirt would have made the search harder for him, so he changed into his school uniform. It wasn't cut out for the job either, but he had no other clothes. At least it was better than a one-piece dress. And from what I remember reading once, it used to be that boys would wear one-piece dresses in the past. It's kind of interesting about it. Don't want to get into it though, but they used to not be just for girls. He seemed to enjoy wearing girls' clothing, so changing into the uniform was probably his way of showing he was serious about this. He kept his easygoing tone of voice, but I felt like there was gravity in his eyes too. He might have been pretty shaken.
はるちゃん
Aru-chan! Aru-chan! We walked around Asumizu shouting until our throats became dry. We checked every bush, all the patches of tall grass, and behind every tree. We even searched the water around the paddy fields, but it didn't feel like we were any closer to finding her.
彼女はどうしたと思う？
What do you think happened to
わ
her?
からん自分のじっちゃんが死んでショックだったのかも
I don't know, maybe she's shocked by her granddad's death?
その前だ。朝から何かおかしかったろ。
No, before that she'd been acting weird since this morning.
そうだっけ
Was she?
彼女、ちょっと潔癖症なところがある？
Is she really fadacious or something?
潔癖
Fast what?
汚いものとか行為とか、そういうのを嫌う感じ。最初に会った時から、そんな感じはあったかと思うんだけど。
A clean freak hates anything dirty. I think I saw hints of that ever since we first met.
というか休みずで一番怖がりなんだよねはるちゃん
Oh, I'd say she's just the greatest scaredy cat here. Scaredy cat, huh?
昔話の汚れとか昔からすごく怖がってたしある意味汚れるのを嫌がってたのかも
She was always really afraid of all the corruption talk. Maybe she was just scared of getting corrupted.
なるほど。
I see. Fear based on superstition, that made sense, but why had it suddenly gotten worse? What happened last
だ
night?
からはるちゃんが狼でも
誰も殺したりできないと思うんだな。
That's why I don't think Haru-chan could kill anyone if she was a wolf.
君はそう考えてるのか？
Is that what you think?
はるちゃんが狼かどうかは別として、もし狼でも無理だろうって言っておる。
I don't know if she is one or not, but I really don't think she could if she
慎
was.
重だな。君らしくもない。
How prudent, that's not like you.
自身のことじゃないからね。
Well, we're not talking about me here.
君とまで腹芸をやりたいわけじゃないんだ。はるちゃんについて何か考えがあるなら、言ってくれないか？
Welcome back, Mira. We're still just in the investigation phase of the werewolf portion of this visual novel. See, I don't want to try and get a read on you. I just want to hear your ideas on what's going on with Haru-chan right now.
何を疑ってるのか僕にはわからんけど。
I have no idea who or what you're confused
僕の
about.
中では、はるちゃんはやっすんと同じか、それ以上に大事なもので、それ以外何にも大事じゃないんだよね。
But to me, Haru-chan is as important as Yasun, and if not more. I don't really care about anyone else. You did it. You have, huh? Outside of this? Because I think they play this quite frequently, just to set the mood.
だからとっとと探そうよ。
So we should just find her. But where do you think you've heard this before, Mira, outside of this game? Because like I said, they're just playing this to maintain the mood of how we should be feeling and such, I think.
正論だ。
Good point. But no matter how hard we searched, we saw no sign of her. She could have been hiding somewhere, or maybe she'd collapsed. But I was beginning to entertain another idea.
彼女が休みずを出た可能性は？
What if she ran away from Yasumizu? I asked, knowing everyone would deny the idea.
相当考えにくいけど。
That'd be hard to believe.
君の安水は黄泉の国と繋がってんだってばあちゃんは言ってる。だから出ようとしてもあっちに迷い込むだけだと。
When the mist comes, Yasumizu is connected to Yomi, Ba-chan's words, so anyone trying to escape would end up there. That has me more curious here. Connected to Yomi or the underworld? I wonder why they would say that.
まああと単純に危ないよね、山の中は。
Not to mention those mountains are dangerous. Well, the mist can cause problems too, so that might be why it's said to be connected to Yomi.
その心情は承知した上で聞きますが、
All that
そ
considered,
れでもあえて、彼女が村を逃げ出したとした場合、彼女にどんな心境の変化があったと考えられる？
if there was something that drive her to escape from the village, what could it be? Everyone fell silent. They couldn't even imagine. It was like their brains had stopped working. If she'd actually wandered out into danger, then we'd wasted too much time searching for her in the village. I had to hurry, so I didn't hesitate to use some big assumptions that bordered on chicanery.
彼女にとってこの村が、あるいは人が、もはや信頼できる場でないとすれば、
What if she could no longer trust the village or the people
ど
here?
ういうこと？
What do you mean?
深夜あるいは早朝に、彼女は何かを目撃したのかもしれません。
She might
何ら
have
かの証拠に気づいたのかも。
she might have seen something at night or early morning or come to some sort of
自分の
realization.
よく知る人物が、狼になって人を平然と殺した。その事実を確信できるような何かにね。
Like, for example, what if she found out that someone she knows well is a wolf who killed people like it was no big deal. Everyone
彼女は
gasped.
若いし、不安定なところもある。
She's young, so it's still pretty unstable.
安水は狭い社会だから、心の拠り所が失われれば、居場所がないように感じられてもおかしくないし。
And since Yasumizu is so small, it wouldn't be strange if she felt like she lost her place here, if someone betrayed her.
苛烈な性格であるハルちゃんなら、一年発起して脱出を試みる、なんてことも考えられるんじゃないか。
The girl seems pretty emotional. Also, it makes sense that she jumped straight to running away, right?
説得力あるな。
You make a solid argument.
どうする？諦めろっつうのか。
Then what do we do? Give up? That was the thought of someone from
逃
Yasumizu.
がれてもいいから、はるちゃんを探しに行く。
I'll go look for her. I'm not afraid of the corruption. And that was the thought of someone from Yasumizu who had a few screws
そん
loose.
なわけで、外出に抵抗感のないよそ者である僕も行きます。
Anyway, I'm an outsider. I'm not exactly averse to leaving. Anyways, so I'll look for her too.
だからそれ、止めるって言ったよね。
I said I'd stop you, didn't I?
大丈夫。ヤバそうだったらすぐ引き返す。あるとすれば、サラナガ方面のはずないから、通学路側を探すことにする。
Don't worry, I'll head back the moment it gets dangerous. She definitely won't head in Saranaga's direction, so I'll focus on the path to
そ
school.
れに、大人が子供を見捨てるわけにはいかんでしょ、というやつで。
Also, adults shouldn't turn their backs on children, right?
ハッサン。
反
Hassan,
論しようがないよ、そんなの。
I can't argue against
もちろん
that.
彼女がまだ休みずにいる可能性は十分ある。二人は引き続き、集落内を探していただけますか？
Of course, it's possible that she's still in Yasumizu, so you'd keep on searching for her
任せ
here.
てくれ。
Leave it to me.
危なかったら、絶対逃げてよ。
Run away if it gets dangerous.
ハッサン。さっき言ってた話さ。
Hassan, about what you just said.
どれ？
What do you mean?
はるちゃんが何かを見たから、誰も信じなくなって逃げたって話。
You know the thing about Haru-chan losing trust in everyone as a result of something she saw.
うん。それが？
What about
多
it?
分、本当じゃないよね。
That didn't actually happen, did it? You don't know that. It could have, and it could not have. It's just a possibility.
さあ、僕はあくまで可能性として言ったに過ぎないが、本当かもしれないとは思ってるよ。
Who knows? I was just raising the possibility. It's likely, though, isn't
例え
it?
ば僕ややっすんが、牙とか生やして、うろついてるのを見たとか？
So what? You think she saw me or Yas-un walking around with a mouth full of huge fangs? Why are you so curious about this? Because this is kind of strange for you to be wording it like that.
まあ、それも可能性だね。
That's a possibility too.
なんていうか、そうじゃない気がする。
Not sure I buy that.
3回。
Is that your intuition talking?
そう。ただの勘だけど、それで言えば、
Yep, it is. Speaking of
この
which,
読み意味の宴ってさ、そういう方法で狼を見つけらんないようにできてる気がする。
I also feel like this feast of the Omi Purge is designed to keep the wolves from being outed easily.
夜出歩けないから目撃ができない。一箇所に固まって相互監視もできない。警察を呼べないから科学捜査も無理。
You can't see them at night because you can't walk outside. You can't stay gathered in one place and watch each other. You can't call the police, so there can't be any investigations. I haven't got a good look at the building styles and such, but you could kind of see them at night potentially by looking out the windows. Otherwise, how would you know if it's daytime or not? But yeah, so I'm gonna reread this. You can't see them at night because you can't walk outside. You can't stay gathered in one place and watch each other. You can't call the police, so there can't be any
おまけに全部
investigations.
霧の中で何が何だかわからないうちにことが進んでいく。
And since everything's covered in mist, there things can happen without anyone realizing.
だからそういう証拠とかじゃ狼を見つけられない。
And that's why you can't get that sort of solid proof. How could the players send people to be hanged without the slightest bit of material evidence? If you ignored the weird guardian powers, it was all quibbles again. It was all quibbles, agitation, sophisticated emotional arguments, connections, popularity. Basically, the power of communication.
よくわからんけど、そんな感じで、ちゃんとできてるんじゃない？
I don't really get why, but yeah, I think it's designed that way on purpose. Nothing was certain. They were put in danger. This argument, with their only weapon being their eloquence, it was a feast of doubting, hurting, and eventually killing one another. If there was such malice behind this, then Chikamochi Kamoshida had a
もしや
point.
君は探偵タイプなんじゃないの？
Are you a detective or something? Could be genre savvy too.
いやー、それは休んだな。もしかしたら、奴はもういろいろわかってるかもしれないぞ。
No, that'd be Yasun. He might know more than he lets on. I'd have to talk to him then. We arrived at the mountain pass separating Yasumizu from the rest of the world. The large stones at the sides were like torii without a top. They might have had religious
別に
significance.
ここから一歩でも出たらアウトなんてルールはないよね。
There's no rule against stepping beyond here, right?
宴から逃げちゃダメだっていうのはあるけどね。
Nope, only that you can't run away from the feast. We were going out to find Haro-chan, so we were good. Ignoring the fact that Haro-chan was breaking the law, we passed between the stones. But we soon had to stop. The path was blocked by a landslide. According to Mochi, despite being pretty rocky, the ground in this area was strangely fragile, so landslides weren't that uncommon. It is, huh? You might just have to send Sakamoto to hunt it down. Let's see. There had been some pretty bad rain last night, hadn't there? If that was related to the mist's appearance, it wasn't unlikely that we'd get both the mist and this landslide at the same time. Despite that, this felt just a bit too convenient. Yeah, let's see. I had to consider the possibility that the people in the settlement above blocked the road to keep the Omobito from getting
おっ
through.
さん、
Asan,
これは
this is. There was something way more important. We found footprints in the still damp mud. It was proof that she'd passed through here. They disappeared into a small cliff that only reached up to my shoulders. She had to have climbed up and disappeared into the forest. Let's hurry.
だな。
Yeah. The term virgin forest was used to describe forests that were still untouched by mankind, letting nature have complete control over it. Many of the cedars here looked imported, so that in turn probably didn't apply to this one. However, it wasn't tended to whatsoever, so the words natural or undeveloped definitely worked. There were many fern saplings on the surface, a canopy of leaves above, and a thick mist all around. It certainly didn't feel like a place humans were welcome. For better or worse, the new ferns seemed slightly trampled, indicating someone had passed through recently. Over here.
気をつけなよ。彼女が迷った道でもある。
Be careful, she got lost on this road after all. Haru-chan!
なあ、大声出して大丈夫か？
Should you really be shouting like
山の
that?
基本。獣は声で逃げる。
It's one of the basics of living in the mountains. The beasts run away if you scream. Oh yeah, I'd almost forgotten about the very real threat of wild animals. I realized I'd lost myself in the mood and became kinda embarrassed. Haru-chan!
返事して
Say something! Shouting over and over, we kept moving forward. She tried to follow the path, but all the cliffs and boulders in the way made her stray from it. 10 minutes later, we'd lost all sense of direction. Yeah, this place really was dangerous. Could we really find her? And even if we did, wouldn't it be too late? I was reminded of Yoshisugu Oribe and his cruel fate. We were about to lose yet another life. Oh. Were we about to lose yet another life? As my thoughts turned to that very real possibility. She's crying, huh? I heard some weeping. Haru-chan.
来ないで
Mochi, stay away.
無事なのか？
Are you alright?
お願い追ってこないで
Please don't come after me. I had a bad feeling about this. Something really bad might have happened to
待っ
her.
てて
Wait up.
あ、おい！
Hey. Chikamochi went after the voice with no hesitation. His body was quickly buried under all the plants and mist. In this kind of situation, I'm wondering if they really heard her. And it's a good thing that they put up question marks when they put up the voice, because he didn't really know who it was, and it could very much be just like some kind of other explanation, because we've got the supernatural in here involved too.
ハッサン手を貸して
Give me a hand, son. His lack of hesitation felt dangerous in some way. Was I just imagining it? Anyway, I went after him and quickly caught up.
痛い
It hurts. It hurts. Haru Makishima was buried under all the greenery.
足だね
It's her leg. Stop. Ow. I walked up and man, this was pretty bad. Her leg was all covered in blood. Her shoe and foot were pierced by a sapling that was broken right at the bottom.
こいつを踏み抜いたのか。枝を折れるか。
She stepped on this. Can we break it
悪
off?
い目抜くしかない
Nope, we gotta pull it out. Oh my gosh. In a real situation, it would probably be better be calling emergency services, since you're not supposed to pull out anything that's impaled. Let the professionals do that.
傷が開くぞ。
That'll open the
血止め
wound.
草と毒ダミが生えてる。あれで傷塞ごう。
There's some lawn marsh, pennywort, and chameleon plants here. Let's close it with them.
そんなことができるのか？
You can do
マ
that?
サトは薬作ってた家だかんね。
Masato is the family that made medicine. First, I'd heard of that, but I had no choice but to believe him. She resisted verbally, but she was too tired and weakened to do it physically. I picked her up, doing my best to ignore her wailing because of the pain, and pulled her away from the branch. Chikamochi quickly took care of her wound and used a handkerchief to stop the bleeding.
ハッサン、担げる？
Let's go back. Can you carry her?
もちろん。君が追わなくてもいいのか？
Of course. You sure you don't want to do it, though?
なんだかな。単に体格の問題さ。
Who knows? What are you having for breakfast, Mira? Let's see. Who knows? I just don't have the build for it. I thought of saying that Haru-chan would have preferred him, but she was barely conscious thanks to the pain. We didn't have time to waste on sentimentality.
先導は頼む。ミイラ取りがミイラだけは勘弁な。
Lead the way. One lost person is enough for one
戻
day.
るだけなら余裕。ただやっぱり、山を抜けるのは無謀っぽい？
Going back is easy, but man, it really does look like getting out is impossible. Agreed.
はるちゃん、よかった。無事だったんだ。
Haru-chan, I'm so glad you're
あんま
alright.
無事じゃない。匠に、タイバー呼んで、傷の手当てしなきゃ。
She isn't Takumi call Taiba. We've got a wound to patch. Got it. Our return caused quite a commotion, and by the time things had begun to calm down, it was way past noon. Haru Makishima's escape attempt distracted everyone, but none of the problems were actually solved. Kanzo Makishimashi was killed by the wolves, while Yoshisugu Oribe was taken by the corruption. Yoshisugu-kun's death was especially problematic. Each meaningless death was yet another obstacle against resolving the feast. Even if they picked and hung someone during the day, it wouldn't guarantee that there'd be one less wolf. It was way more likely that they'd get rid of an innocent. Even worse, the wolves in the group would most likely try to leverage the hangings in their favor. They'd claim to be innocent while casting doubt and blame on the other survivors. To win, the humans needed to do their best to see through such trickery and identify the wolves, possibly even making them confess. That was how I saw it anyway, and I was the one with the least info here. With that in mind, all humans who died by breaking the rules were actually doing the wolves a favor. If she'd actually disappeared, I'd have said the same about Haru Makishima, assuming she was human anyway. Perhaps someone encouraged them to break the rules? If that was the case, the wolves were ruthless, knew the rules well, and were steadily advancing toward a complete victory where all humans lay dead.
集落の有力者、あるいは今後のゲーム展開を左右するような優秀なプレイヤー。
That'd be someone influential or a player who's invaluable to the humans.
ちゃん、あるいはヤスくん。
That'd be Kanzo Chi-chan or Yasu-kun. And just as we feared yesterday, the wolves had silenced one of the most important people in the feast. It was hard to believe they'd chosen him just because they were scum or because they didn't like him. The situation is really bad. Another thing to note, was that Yoshisugu Oribe's death greatly affected Kaori-san, who's responsible for everyone's meals. That was a major problem.
皆さん、お疲れ
Good,
様で。
good work, everyone. Here's some. When she tried to give us tea once we returned from the search, her face was pale and she was shaking like she was having a seizure. Despite her attempt to carry on as normal, her composure was in pieces. It was so painful I could barely watch. Takumi-san should have been supporting her, but he was just gloomily hanging his head. In the end, Jamie had to lead Kaori-san back to her room and stay at her side. I could only hope that was enough to calm her down. However, it was nearly time to do the inevitable.
今日の宴をやると言ったかと思うが、そろそろ始めるべきではないかね。
I recall you saying that we should start today's feast. Now is as good a time as any, don't you think? Kinosuke, she addressed the downhearted people gathered in the dining hall.
始められそうな感じじゃねえだろ。
Does it look to you like anyone's up for it?
そのまま今日が終わりそうではないかね。狼各位が本気で我々を全滅させる気らしい。この
The day will end at this rate. The wolves are clearly intent on killing us all.
これ以上指を加えて待っていれば、連中の思う壺となる。
Can we really
何が何で
wait?
も今日はくくるものを選ばねばならん。
Can we really waste time waiting in a situation like this? It'd work in their favor. We have to pick someone to hang no matter
違う
what.
かね。ムロ。
Don't you agree, Muro?
わかったよ。安永、上の連中にまず声かけてみてくれ。
Alright, Yasunaga, try talking to everyone upstairs. That was where Tai-san looked after Haru-chan and Jamie looked after Kaori-san.
僕行く。
Oh, I'll go
いい
too.
よ、モッチ。
You don't have to, Mochi.
からさ。
Just let me tag along. Shikamochi winked at me for some
時
reason.
間かかるかもよ。
It might take a while.
ぼちぼちでいい。全員出なきゃまずいしな。
Yeah, take your time. Aim, everyone has to be there after all.
します。
I will go
よろしく
prepare.
お願いしますよ。
Please do. Oh wait. Now is my
安永
chance.
君、ちょっといいかい？
Yasunaga-kun, can we talk?
なんでしょ
About what?
弟さんのこと、残念だったね。
Sorry about your
う。
brother.
はい。そう言ってもらえて、あいつも少しは救われると思います。
Thank you, that makes it a bit better for him and
随分
I.
と大人びた言い方をするんだね。
That's a very mature way to talk about it.
もうちょっと素朴な方が良かったですかね。
Ah, maybe I should have sounded more my age then. This boy was already pretty
兄弟
mature.
の仲はあまり良くなかった？
You didn't get along with him?
いえ、そんなことは。最近ちょっとすれ違い気味だっただけで。本当はあいつ、いいやつですから。
That's not it. We didn't always see eye to eye, especially recently, but he was a really good guy.
それは、僕もそう思うよ。心からグレてる子じゃなかったろうし、お母さんとの仲も？
I think so too. It seemed like deep down the tough guy routine was really just an act. Did he get along with your mother?
ええ。悪い言葉を使ったりもしてましたが、義継は母のことが好きでしたし、
He did
僕よりは
he
義継のことを。
yeah, he did. Despite all he said, he really loved her and she probably loved him more than me.
いや、そんなことを聞きたいんじゃなかったんだ。ごめんごめん。
Oh, that's not what I was asking, sorry. All human relations were complicated. Prying too deeply wasn't a good
すいま
idea.
せん。何を答えましょうか。
I'm sorry, what did you want to
いくつ
know?
かあるんだけど、主に伝説上のことだよ。
Hash browns, huh? That sounds good. I had made a muffin for breakfast. Let's see. A few things mostly about legend.
それならタイさんの方が。
Tyson is the better person for
ちょっと
that.
理屈のわかる人に聞きたいところなんだ。
I need the opinion of someone more rational.
一つ目。狼はどうして人を殺すんだと思う？
Yeah, he definitely does. Yeah, I know where he's from. In fact, I think Blue Exorcist had a new chapter this month earlier. I think if I remember right, it gets published at the beginning of the month. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Let's see. First question, why do you think the wolves killed the
それ
humans?
は、かつて人間に騙されて殺された恨みで。
Because they're angry at humans for tricking and killing them.
言い直そう。狼役の人間はどうして、かつての仲間や家族を、ためらいなく殺せるんだと思う？
Let me rephrase that. Why do the people given the role of the wolves suddenly become able to kill their friends and family with no remorse?
ああ。もしかして、僕やハルちゃんを疑って。
Are you suspicious of Haru-chan and
ああ、
I?
いや。ごめん、そうじゃない。
Oh no, sorry, that's not
一
it.
般論で考えてみて。じゃあ君が、はい、あんたは狼ですって言われて、それじゃあ仕方ないって殺人ができる？
I want you to look at it from a general perspective. Say you've been told that you're a wolf. Could you just accept it and start killing
で
people?
きるわけないでしょ。
No way.
そう。できるわけない。無論、できる人間もいるだろうが、良識や恐怖からできない人間の方が多いんじゃないか？
Exactly, no way you could. Of course, there are those who could, but most couldn't, either out of fear or
特にモッ
guilt.
チーなんかを見てると思う。ここの人たちは、特定の概念的存在に恐怖を持ってるが、それは絶対じゃない。
Mochi's a good example. The people here are afraid of certain things, but they do have lines drawn in the
自
sand.
分の好きな人を守るためには、汚れや狼に立ち向かうことだってできるはずなんだ。
If the lives of those they care about are on the line, they won't hesitate to face the corruption in the
それは
wolves.、
モッチーが特別なんですよ。あいつ。
That's only because Mochi is special. He's a genius. Really?
天才？
Genius?
ええ。普通の奴にできない予想や決断を平然とやってのけますし、本当に大事なもの以外は全部捨てられるんです。
Yes, he can easily make predictions and decisions normal people can't, and he'll readily throw away anyone or anything he doesn't care
他の
about.
人はあいつがおかしいんだって言いますけど、僕はあいつのこと、天才だと思ってます。
Everyone else thinks he's weird. He's just weird, but I think he's a
なる
genius.
ほど。それには同感かも。
I see. I think I agree with you
た
there.
だ、僕が言いたいのは、君たちが汚れという魔法の一言だけで、殺人者になるような人間じゃないってこと。
But anyway, what I'm saying is that you people aren't the types to magically become murderers just because of some
も
corruption.
ちろん、やらなきゃ汚れだ。最終的にやっちゃう人もいるだろう。ためらいつつ、遠慮がちにさ。
Of course, there'd be people who'd do it because the corruption would come for them if they didn't, but even they wouldn't do it without
と
hesitation.
ころが今回狼は、何の躊躇もなくやってる。
But the wolves we're dealing with aren't hesitating at
ど
all.
こに話を着地させたいのかわかんないんですが、狼の性格や素質によるんじゃないですか。
I don't know where you're going with this, but I think it depends on the personality of whoever the
も
wolf
ともと
is.
人を殺すことに抵抗のない人なら、やってのけるんじゃ。
it'd be easy for people who never had any aversion to killing.
狼は2匹いるんだよね。
But there are 2 wolves, right?
そのようですね。
Yeah, seems that way.
じゃあ聞くが、この小さな安水という集落で、2人以上の殺人者の素質十分な奴がいたか？
I see. Let me ask you this then. Does Yasumizu have more than one person that capable of murder?
集団の中にサイコが1人いるってより、サイコが2人いる方が確率的にかなり低いだろ
う。One psycho in a group of people I could see, but 2 seems pretty
それより
unlikely.
は、複数の真っ当な人間を無作為に集めて、全員一致した殺人者に仕立て上げる方法があると考えるべきだ。
I think a better assumption is that there's some way to turn even an ordinary person into a ruthless
そうで
killer.
もなきゃ、こんな残酷なことが行われているのに、仲間割れが起きない説明がつかない。
If that isn't true, the lack of infighting doesn't make sense under the current
そう
circumstances.
言われると、
When you put it like that,
学校の先生の受け売りですけど、思想を与えればいいんじゃないですか。
this is just something I heard from a teacher at school, but you could do it by giving them something to fight for, couldn't you?
ふん？
Hmm?
要は、自分たちのしていることが正しいと思えればいいんじゃないかって。
Basically, you need to make them think they're doing the right thing.
狼の行為が正しいと。なるほど。それはとても面白い考え方だ。市民に戦争させる常套手段ってわけだ。
That the wolves are doing the right thing, I see. That's an interesting way to look at it. It's how countries convince their people to go to war.
そういう話の時に習いました。でも、不妻子さんの考え、ちょっと偏りすぎじゃないですか？
Yes, that's what the lesson was about, but I think that your perspective is a bit
という
flawed.
と、
What do you mean?
例えば、この集落の女の人は大体奥ゆかしいし、決断は男任せのことが多いです。はるちゃんでさえそんなです。
For example, most of the girls in this settlement are timid and prefer to leave the big decisions to the men. Even Haru-chan is like
だ
that.
から、狼が男女の二人で、男が主導して殺し、女は完全に言いなり、ってパターンもあり得ます。
So if the wolves are a man and a woman, it's entirely possible that the man's taking the lead and doing the killing while the woman is just following along.
それにそもそも、今回たまたま迷いのない殺人があっただけで、いつもは多少の仲間割れはあったかもしれない。
Also, for all we know, the wolves could be arguing all the time, and they just didn't happen into hesitating killing this one time.
そりゃそうだ。ただ、この読みの宴が大昔から廃れずに残ってるのには、何か秘密がありそうでさ。
Yeah, good point, but I do think there's some secret to why this feast lasted so long. Traditions like these usually die out.
絶対確実に殺させる仕組みがないといけないんじゃないかってね。その点、君の意見は面白い。
It makes me think that there must be a way to ensure the killings continue. Your idea is certainly interesting.
面白いって言い方はないでしょう。こんな時に。
I don't think you should call it interesting, not in a situation like this. But it is interesting, more so curiosity.
これはごめん。不謹慎だったね。じゃあ、もう一つだけ聞かせて。
Oh, sorry about that. That was insincere of me. Let me ask you one more thing
いい
then.
ですけど。
Go ahead.
さっき僕は、あえて不思議なことが起きてない想定で喋ったけど、君自身は不思議なことが起きてると思う？
I was working under the assumption that nothing particularly strange is happening here. But what about you? Do you think there's something mysterious going
考
on?
えたくないんですけど。起きてると思います。
I don't want to believe it, but I think there is.
それはどうして？神様や化け物を見たことがあるとか？
Why is that? Did you see a god or monsters or something?
いえ、言いづらいんですけど。
Let's see. No, it's hard to put into words, but hold on, guys. It's kind of close to time, but I feel like I need a break to get a drink and possibly use the bathroom. And then I will continue on from there. I want to definitely get out of this little point before I determine whether it's time or not. So I will take this chance to take a break. You guys do the same. And if you haven't had the chance to answer today's question of the day, feel free to do so. And I will check on the responses to that when I get back. If you don't see it, the command in the string title while I'm live should bring it up. And with that, I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let me check on chat and then I'll switch things over. I want to get through this at least little exchange here. Like I said before, I should be checking on you guys. Okay, nothing there. And what about over here? There. Go. Right here. Alright. Nothing there either, so we're good to go here. Like I said, I'm gonna at least go until we're done with this exchange with Yasunaga, since I'm so close on time. Well, let's see. No, it's hard to put into words, but
こんな偏僻なところに部外者が4人もいるタイミングで霧が出たところから大きな意志みたいなものを感じますよね。
the fact that the mist appeared when we had a whole 4 outsiders here made it feel like there was a higher power at work.
どう考えても人為的にこんな霧を作り出せるなんて思えない。
No matter how I look at it, I don't think mist like this could have been produced by human
人の
hands.
家に平然と入って人を殺せるのだって普通に考えたら奇妙ですし。
Not to mention that it's strange how the wolves can enter sheltered houses and kill all the people there.
実際に僕らのうちの誰かの人を殺してるなら態度がおかしくなったり何か証拠を残したりするはず。
There's also the fact that if one of us killed someone, you'd see a change in their behavior. Some evidence would be left behind. Or they could just have a really good poker face.
その辺が説明がつかない以上不思議だって思います。
We can't explain those things, so yes, I do think there's something mysterious going on.
そっか。なるほどね。わかった。変なことを聞いて悪かった。
Oh, I see. Alright. Sorry for asking such a weird
ち
question.
なみに君は誰が狼だと思う？
By the way, who do you think are the
久石
wolves?
春明さん。
Haruaki Fusaishi-san cut me off with a stern
悪いけ
voice.
どそれは宴ですべき話ですよ。あなたにはそれを聞く資格はないはずです。
Sorry, but that is something we talk about in the feast. You don't have the right to ask
こ
that.
れは失敬。
Oh, my
ち
bad.
ゃんと聞いてください。僕らは宴で意見の出し合いで一人生贄を選ばなきゃならないんです。
Listen, we'll have to hold the feast to decide which one of us we should sacrifice
嬉
today.
しいって提案することは必要だけど大きな危険も伴います。
It's important to propose who we think is suspicious, but it's also very
後で
dangerous.
その発言を捕まえられて、それが決定打で殺されてしまうことがあり得る程度には。
Something we said outside of the feast could be used against us and become a fatal mistake.
そういうことを聞かれたら、僕は誰かが悪意を持って不妻子さんを操ってると思ってしまいます。勘弁してくださいよ。
The fact that you asked me that makes me feel like someone's maliciously using you against me. Please
もっ
stop.
ともだ。心から謝るよ。
Good point, good point, I'm sorry,
い
really.
え、ただ、
Oh, but
僕は、あなたのことを盲目的に不吉だとかは思ってませんけど、あなたが何かに関わってる疑いは捨ててませんよ。
now I won't blindly believe that you're an ill omen, but I won't stop suspecting that you're involved somehow.
義継の死にあなたが関わってるようなことがあれば、
If I ever find out you had something to do with Yoshisuga's whose death, I'll...
どうする？
You'll what? He glared at
僕の
me.
兄として、仇を討たなきゃならない。
I'll have to avenge my little
そ
brother.
うか。まあ当然だね。極力疑われないように、今日も檻に入れてもらうとしよ
I see, of course you would. I'll just head to the cage and do my best to be as unsuspicious as possible.
それはやめた方がいいです。
Oh, you shouldn't do
う。どうし
that.
て？
What?
今日は長引くかもしれない。そうなると夕方です。時間切れになるかもしれない。
Today's feast might drag on until evening. It might be too late by then.
寮の部屋に入って、外からつっかい棒をしてもらうのがいいと思います。
You should go out to your room in the You should go to your room in the dorm and ask someone outside to block the door handle with a
なる
stick.
ほど。そりゃいい考えだ。
I see. Good idea. This boy was really smart. If Takumi Muroshi was a site foreman type, he was the manager type. I could see a talent for using people. Except people would be able to see that thing that's blocking the door and let him in. So he could just be doing that because he's the wolf.
僕からも一つだけ質問いいですか？
Can I ask something too?
もちろん。
Of course.
DNA のこと好きなんですか？
You like Chiene?
うー
Whoa.
ん。政治的にはそうでもないよと言うべきなのかもしれないが、そうだね。好感は持ってるね。
From a political standpoint, I should say no, but yeah, she's likable.
そうですか。
I see.
まあ彼女はオープンな人柄っぽいから、言えば付き合ってくれるかもしれないな。
Well, she seems pretty.
僕は
Well, she seems pretty available, so she'd probably date me if I or anyone else asked.
やだな。何か気を回してます。モッチーが何か吹き込んだんじゃないかと思ってたんです。
Oh, are you being considerate of me? I had a feeling that Mochi told you something weird.
僕は別に、そんなじゃないです。
It's not like that.
僕がチエネーに憧れてたのは、昔の話です。近所でたった一人の年上のお姉さんに憧れてた。それだけです。
What I felt for her is a thing of the past. She was the only older girl around these parts, so I was attracted to her, that's
ジメ
all.
ジメ、ガチガチな場所で、チエネーは自由奔放だったから、モッチーと同じくらい、すごい人です。
This place was gloomy and serious, and she was the only free-spirited person here. She is as amazing as Mochi.
昔はやんちゃだったって？
You're saying she was a rascal?
ええ。まあ、人を殺しかけたりとか。
Yes, so much so that she almost killed
ちょっと
someone.
待って。
Hold on.
まあ、事故でですけどね。ただ、オープンってちょっと意外です。チエ
Well,
ネーは結構、人見知りですよ。
well, it was an accident, though it's strange to think she's available. Jane A is actually pretty
そう
shy.
かな。
Is she now?
あるいは、大学の3年間で、だいぶ変わっちゃったのかもしれないですけどね。
Or maybe she just changed a lot during her 3 years of college.
僕はもういいんです。
So yeah, I've already gotten over
なん
her.
だか、君の方が変に気を回してないか？あんまり健全じゃないぞ、そういうのは。
Now I feel like you're the one being weirdly considerate. That's not healthy, you know?
別に彼女が好きならそれでもいいのに。
It's all good if you like
今
her.
はどうにしたって、そんな気分じゃないですね。
This is hardly the time or place for
と
that.
も。
Good point. That was it, huh? Okay. Looks like it's time, and this is a good place to stop, so I'm gonna save here and call it a day. Just remember not to trust the thing here. So we'll do that. Alright. I thank you all for coming. If you're watching this on YouTube and you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and share this with anybody else that you think might like this. And if you'd like the chance to chill with me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon to hopefully be notified of when I'll be live again. As for when I'll be live again, I want to say tomorrow. Probably be about the same time, but I usually keep people up to date on that on my YouTube post on the tab on my YouTube channel. So be sure to check that. And if you guys are watching this on Twitch, you all know what to do. Speaking of Twitch, let me try and find somebody to raid. Okay, let's see. Go here. Let me check elsewhere. If not, then I'll be here. Okay. Not there. So let's go ahead and try and give you guys something to chill with. So, because this one got pretty tense today. So, let's see. Okay. There. Let's see. Up there. Okay. All right. We are going to try and raid a Smina. They're bilingual in Italian and English. And they're doing what looks like some Abyss run. I don't know how. They are, or what they're like since they're a new person. But I hope they're chill. And give them my regards and tell them I'll be there when I can. With that out of the way, I thank you all again for coming. Bye.